Oh wait, guys, we've got content. Let's jump in here. AO.
Be enough to stop the escalation. Yeah. Okay, Kuihman.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's so. I don't know if Ethan was planning this. There's a universe where Ethan was totally content brained on this, and he was planning this stream no matter what. But I think Vaush's response pushed him into this stream. I think Vaush's response did this.
Well, here's my take on Ethan. I think Ethan, of course, was planning this all the time. I know this because so am I. Everybody here is who has half a brain. Why? Because every single person in your sphere, like, what is this stream about? Well, among other things, when somebody makes a fool of themselves or embarrasses themselves or they're revealed to be doing something unethical, you tear them to pieces for clout. And with the expectation they'll do the same to you. So what is Ethan doing in this situation? He's doing a couple of things. The first is he's tearing down a rival who's already going to be torn down. Because if Ethan doesn't do this, somebody else will. This leads to the second thing. If somebody else does it, maybe somebody will ask, hey, Ethan, why did you ignore this? Like, so there's self-preservation on multiple levels. It's not just opportunism. At this point, like, with this baggage, he's toxic to everybody. You can't defend him. The only thing you can do is fail to criticize him, in which case people are going to wonder why. Like, I don't blame Ethan for this. Like, I think on a moral level, like, look, I have no love for Tipster or Keffels, but I think just taking that occurrence for what it is, I think making soft implications that they are pedophilic in the context of that interaction, I don't think that was above board. I think that was overreaching. The problem, of course, is like, who's going to defend them and who's going to succeed in defending them? Like, they're toast.
So I tried giving some defenses of his, like, philosophical arguments, but, like, the philosophical arguments are what they are. But it looks suspicious when he has this many and they're all around the same topic, and then he leaks the folder, right? Like, the leaking of the folder is the primary problem here.
The thing is that you can,
with pictures of kids,
you can justify his philosophical arguments, but the thing is that every time he talks about it, it doesn't sound like he's arguing for communism or socialism. It sounds like he's arguing for pedophilia being not as bad as people are saying. It, like, that's the way he always frames it. He's like, I see no moral or legal argument against the possession of child pornography. Like, that's not the way to frame that argument.
I'm gonna make one last statement on that point. Sorry to cut you off, Kuihman, just because I need to go or I'm gonna die of blood clots. I've been saying for 5 hours. Yeah. So there are Vaush's earlier arguments about, like, age of consent under socialism or whatever, where, like, the disproportionate, like, all that weird stuff that he's disavowed. Then there's the arguments in the middle that are, you know, philosophically sustainable but poorly phrased. And then there's the leak. And here's the thing. The philosophical arguments in the middle, poorly phrased, they're arguable. There's a respectable point there where it's like, hey, you say you have a problem with child exploitation with pornography, but you're fine with it with child slavery. Aren't you a hypocrite? That's the upshot. I think it's a fair point. The point is not that child pornography is only as bad as child slavery. The point is that child enslavement should be considered at least close to as bad as the former thing in a negative way. They're both bad.
But so here's the problem there on my end is then he goes and he says, look at my computer. My computer was made with child slavery. So I'm like, how can I morally judge? And there it's like, well, normally what I think he would argue.
Okay, I got you.
Ethan's going to say, Ethan's just going to say that, oh, so, like, you're saying, like, you would have no compunction about going out and getting child porn is what Vaush, it sounds like Vaush is saying. And Vaush's answer to that has to be,
no, the problem is of course, the problem is he's bought the computer. So it's like, where are you going with this, buddy? But okay, leaving that aside, okay, let's just assume for argument's sake that worked. The problem is that his disavowal of the previous stuff, even if you want to say that middle stuff is like, there's a philosophical argument there that doesn't imply anything about him, however badly it was phrased. The problem is that the folder now entitles you, if you have any inclination to do so, to go back and revise your initial read on those previous statements. And that's all. Like, it just means that the charity you would have given him out of agnosticism about, like, look, he's saying stuff, I don't really have anything concrete to pin here, though. It's like, it looks sus, but, like, you know, people are like that sometimes. Like, sometimes people say stupid shit. Yeah.
It's like after Tom made those messages in JSTLK's chat. Like, now we have the proof for the sex pestry.
I made that comment actually yesterday. It's eerily similar. Actually, I made my thumbnails identical between them too. They both just say stop breathe on them for the same reason. Like, the problem is that for Vaush to navigate his way out of this, his only tool, the only thing he has at his disposal at this point, is the goodwill of other people, and he immediately postured in a hostile way to someone who is like over 4 times his size. Like it's I just don't think he understands how to actually navigate situations where he's not in a power position. The only thing he knows how to do is to put up walls and bunker down, which won't help him in this case. And I'm waiting for like a Moist Critical or a Philip DeFranco or somebody to pick this up. And if that happens, it's over.
Would you say that Vaush is something of a predator in the way that he seeks out weaker people?
Fuck you. In the way he seeks out weaker people.
I was just mocking the way you said things.
Oh, I know you were. I'm trying to figure out how to answer that now without fucking myself. Look, I gotta go get noodles. Okay, we'll pick this thread up later. All right, have a good night, guys. Cheerio.
Bye.
Hey, see you Sunday.
JSTLK, I think you mentioned something earlier.
What's up?
You mentioned something earlier that was a good point about the Fortress arc. That maybe if he didn't have one, he'd have known how like normies would react to this more so, or how to engage with
building
other
his
people.
whole community out of like Coomer rejects from other communities, like being known as
we
like,
won, guys. We won. We won.
Yeah,
like, literally
the way that your audience defends you reflects you in a way.
Well, and so the way, I don't know if maybe you guys can speak to this more than me, but it does seem like the way he built his community was he kind of got banned from Destiny, so he had to make his own Discord. And the people who didn't have a problem with his poppy sex pest shit were the people who followed him. Like that being the like genesis of your community seems concerning and seems like it would lead to this outcome naturally.
Yeah.
JSTLK, have you seen the latest MrGirl tweet?
I got linked it just a second ago.
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
on.
Is this one also about Vaush?
Yes. Well, loosely.
Yeah. My first exposure was in 7th grade when a kid in my Chinese class, I assume, handed me an unmarked green floppy disk. When I got home, I was amazed to find several drawings of tiny fairies collaborating to jack off a huge dick. It made me the man I am today. # I stand with Vaush. Dude, Vaush is sitting there reading this and he's like,
sweating.
No,
look at my lawyer.
You're fucking killing me. Oh no.
The allies you get, man.
Jesus Christ.
MrGirl is up so big. So, okay. MrGirl is up so big right now.
This is a base tweet, okay?
No, it seems like you stand with Vaush.
Okay, hold on. I won't retweet it. Hold on.
Quote tweet it and say you strongly disavowing of shaking your head as you quote tweet it and just find it amusing.
Or just a laugh emoji.
A real quick comment. Vaush is gonna make it after all. He's got these allies.
Oh my god.
He's gonna do it. Oh, I wanted to have like a small panel here, but then Sunday had to go. Kuihman, I don't know. Were you watching the whole thing? Did you?
I was just watching some of the H3 stuff. I mean, I haven't been crazy invested in it because it's just like, I just felt we knew Vaush was a lolicon. Did we not? I don't feel like I've learned anything in the last week.
I think he had the plausible deniability, and he spent the past 2 years pushing himself away from it.
But I mean, it's just like funny because it's like, yeah, he's gone like so hard against it to try and counter those narratives, and now he looks retarded for it. But past that, I'm just like, yeah, I knew this guy was jerking off to anime kids. I could have guessed that.
Well, he had the conversation. Sorry, Chaeiry, you can go right after this. He just had the conversation with MrGirl where he literally said, like, if you jerk at the lolly, you need to like actually be analyzed.
Well, yeah, obviously he said that.
You're not. Yeah. So
I also said before, like, hey, listen, guys, we've all stumbled across the lolly and jerked off to it, haven't we, guys? Haven't we? Yeah. Haven't we all done that? It's like, no, actually.
No, unironically, until Max came into the scene, and I've seen all these other lores and stuff. I watched Poppy lore with Vaush or whatever. I never thought that any of those people actually liked those things. I thought they were just doing this intellectual, like, weird thing and enjoying debate and being contrarian and just, I thought it was just a sport for them. So I'm pretty surprised.
No, the lolly shit is pretty widespread on the internet, I'd say.
Yeah, I can only hope that whenever I brought up furries, that people knew that I was joking. But yeah, go ahead.
Were you joking?
I was.
I think the pandemic did this to people. I think people got really stir crazy during the pandemic, and they just started like going into a bunch of weird shit. Dude,
No.
I think. Sorry, what I should say is I think there are probably people who are capable of being into this kind of shit and then being like cooped up inside for that long. I think being away from like most normal people for very long periods of time does this to people, where they get desensitized. Even if they're not into it, they get desensitized to it.
It may have sped it up, but the point we're at now, whatever point you think we're at now, was an inevitable point to reach.
Well, and also Vaush was there no matter what. I'm not saying this is for Vaush.
Well, yeah,
I'm saying the fact that he has like a community that's been so okay with this for so long, and that there's so many people. That's what I'm saying was the pandemic. Obviously, I'm not saying Vaush had this happen because of the pandemic.
Maybe my perception's just skewed from being a freak browsing 4chan since I was 12, but this has been so common. Lolly shit has been around everywhere. Every community I've been in, there's fucking lolicons everywhere. I don't know, dude. It's just like DGG. There's probably loads of lolicons in there, I imagine. You know, the Destiny Discord, your Discord, I imagine.
Well, no. Those people all went with Vaush. That's what the actual.
No shot. No. You've still got loads of lolicons there, 100%. There's loads of people that come in from like, you know, far right communities that are still watching K-On! And all this shit, 100%.
How do you know if somebody is a lolly?
Well, you can just tell from the way they post and the shit they post about online. You can
sometimes they tell it to you, unfortunately.
They show themselves.
But the one guy that I knew from DGG who's like that, or like there's a meme about him, like I don't think he really posts anymore, so. Anyway. Tony says, I will never be found with lolicon material, ever, because I think anime is gay. Well, I mean, that's your decision, Tony. You're missing out, okay? But at least you'll never be caught.
Not lolly there. Not caught, yeah.
Yeah, I was referring to Tyson. Vaush was bred in DGG. Vaush was DGG. Yeah, but Vaush's whole thing, like I said, he was cast out because of some sex pest shit. He went and made his own community. And the people who went with him all knew about the sex pest shit and were like, yeah, that's not really a problem. And all of his like lolly takes, but dude, broadcast all of this far and wide.
That's retarded because you can say that, yeah, obviously Vaush's community is going to foster that sort of thing because of that. But most of the people, like 99% of the people in Vaush's community or Vaush watchers now probably weren't even around when that happened. Probably a lot of them probably didn't even know about it until they watched the H3 stream today because the poppy shit's like dead.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Do you have am I presenting right now? You guys should watch this clip.
Yeah, I've got it up.
Tipster Keffel's clip here, coming in hot.
Notice anyone defending Vaush has a financial or clout incentive to do so. Harming children isn't a deal breaker for these people because more subs, attention, ultimately.
So I think this is actually wrong. I think Keffels, I don't know why Keffels is defending Vaush. I think there is no financial incentive whatsoever to defend him.
Money are more important to them. I don't know if that's true. I can definitely understand why they're saying that. Keffel says, I don't defend Vaush for clout. I've lost both financial and networking opportunities for being his friend. I defend him because he's a good person who more often than not is unfairly maligned by people who should know better. So
this happens to him a lot?
You're right. It does. A lot.
Kind of interesting.
Well, why are you defending him then? Because he's a good person who is more often than not right. So you're saying there's a chance he's wrong. More often. That just means 50.
Wait, so why am I defending him? Because I'm not a fucking clout shark. I'm not someone who has absolutely no morals or principles like Ethan. Ethan is willing to do
feel like I have 100,000 reasons to doubt that.
Do anything to get ahead. He doesn't believe in shit. He doesn't care about anyone except for himself. And that's why he's doing all of this. I have a spine. I have things I believe in. And I don't care if I'll never get as much clout as I otherwise would have if I was a fucking moralless, spineless ghoul like him.
Yeah, some of us aren't okay with calling people pedophiles who aren't pedophiles. Some of us aren't okay with putting very harmful labels on people that don't fucking fit.
What?
Just fucking pathetic.
Keffel's literally called food shops a pedophile like last week for being a lolicon. Am I crazy?
Let me get down to the... Yeah, here it is.
They're just in their echo chamber so much they don't know how weird that sounds.
Keemstar, why are you a pedophile? I've always wanted to ratio a pedophile. Keemstar, you want to fuck 16-year-olds. You shouldn't have an opinion on trans kids. You should stay away from them. Putting ex-producer of the Keemstar show in bio is basically like putting ex-vice president of NAMBLA in bio. What are they saying? How did he just proclaim this loudly? Oh, it's been 17 years since I started creating content. Man, time flies. To all those who supported me over the years, #thank you. Starting to realize why Keemstar hates you. He won't fuck with you, and in a year from now, he wouldn't even fuck your channel. Saying his channel would be 18. Oh, and then I always wanted ratio pedophile again. But come on, dude. So now you're saying Vaush is a pedophile? Yes or no? I think there's everything but catching him in the act at this point.
Really? A pedophile? Well, how are you defining pedophile?
Somebody who's attracted to children.
Okay, how attracted to children? 1 in 6 men, according to an Australian study, admit attraction to some form of child. So what?
Every man, according to MrGirl.
I think he's attracted to girls under 14.
Consistently.
Maybe not consistently, but this is a weird line of argumentation you're going down.
Well,
I feel like
I don't think it is, because I'm not trolling. Because I mean, if you look at like,
I still stand by my previous message about Keffels.
Okay.
It's your editor being like, "Don't make this argument."
No. Like, I mean, I just go. Me personally, I just go by the ICD definition, which is primary exclusive attraction to children.
Oh, primary exclusive. I would say he's not primary exclusive.
Primary
so that's
or
your
exclusive,
definition?
obviously. Yeah.
Oh, sure. I would say neither primary nor exclusive. I would say he is such a coomer.
I would say he absolutely exhibits a abnormal attraction to children. I would say that.
Sure.
And I would probably say that given the opportunity, you know, I wouldn't hedge my bets. I wouldn't leave my kid with him, you know, me personally. But
has that much been proven or demonstrated?
Has what been proven, sorry?
That he has an abnormal attraction to children?
Well, I think when you're at the point where you're like saving lolicon images, you have an abnormal attraction to children.
That would be my assertion as well. And also, like, the other arguments he's made, like, literally all of the arguments he's made around lolicon, right?
Apparently Vaush has started.
You need to seriously, well, I don't know if he's actually going to speak on this. We'll see.
Maintaining the community, very high relevance.
I'm just going to go back to the start of it here.
Because it's gaudy, you know. It's a little kitschy. It's a little I don't know. It's not a good look. So I'll read these at the end of stream. Whatever doesn't get TTS'd, I'll read at the end of stream. Thank you. I'll tell you thank you properly soon.
Max the Confess 0 super chatted $4.99. No Kuihman.
Okay, I just turned it off. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. Now, chat, you all, as I can see by looking here, you're all desperate to talk about the H3 podcast, Nathan Klein. I'm really
that's literally what your stream's called.
The stream today, and blood was waffling. You know, this is one of those situations where you have to appreciate the fact.
Ethan made like 3 poor arguments, and that's all Vaush is going to focus on, and he's never going to actually address any of the major problems.
That I must be pretty great for people to have to lie that much and that aggressively to try to take me down. You know, I must be pretty cool, actually. Not everyone will agree, of course, but that's why you have to take some time. The whole point of character assassination is to construct an environment in which any accusations can't really be defended against, right? It wouldn't be much of a character assassination if you could undo it by saying the truth after, right? If that was the case, why would anyone do a character assassination if it could be undone so quickly?
What? No, you could absolutely undo a character assassination if you have proof of any, like, the issue is it's not a character assassination. They're reviewing evidence and saying and like accurately describing the evidence. It's not a character assassination.
And you're a freak.
Doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Quickly. No, trying to epically own the narrative at the moment would be, well, leaving aside the fact that literally everything's been addressed for years, so it's like incredibly boring, but leaving that aside.
Also, I was just going to say, fuck. I was just
trying to address it right now. You might as well go into a church while people are speaking tongues and try to debate them out of believing in God, you know? An emotional environment that encourages irrational thinking has been constructed. Given time, given the fact that, he was having like a schizo meltdown, honestly, from the clips that I saw, like really weird shit. We will persist and be quietly, and then as time goes on, more loudly truthful. That's fine. Now, as for everyone who wants to update me on everything, I don't care. You don't have to tell me. Seriously, I don't. The whole point here is, oh, look, it's overwhelming. This big stream, all the denunciation. Look, 57 lies, debunk them all. The purpose of stuff like this is to exhaust you. Thankfully, with my massive brain, I can sort this information in order of relevance. And all of this, very...
Kuihman, could you ask Drazi to come on? Do you talk to Drazi at all?
I don't talk to Drazi. I could give it a go. Why?
Oh my god. He was gonna bring up how I said that he lied about his wife being attractive. I don't know if I was mentally ill at that time.
Oh yeah, his wife is not attractive.
I'm not saying that. I just
I am.
something was off with me. I felt like he lied to me. I was very upset about that.
Apparently, apparently Drazi would be content. That's what someone's telling me.
I've messaged him, I've DM'd him, I've asked him. So let's see.
Ah, perfect. Thank you.
Very low relevance. Valheim, very high relevance. Maintaining the community, very high relevance. Yeah, don't worry.
Fuck, I should have known that was gonna happen.
Vaush was threatening to post the DMs from YouTube. He did post those DMs. They made him look bad. There was nothing.
No,
you can
they
go see the H3 podcast if you want.
The DMs did not. The DMs did not make Ethan look bad. They didn't make either of them look bad, really. But like Vaush was saying that Ethan was basically being a complete snake, and he wasn't really. He was being cordial. And then once Vaush was like mad at him, he was like, mad at him and saying Vaush was basically invoking their friendship. And Ethan was like, dude, we're not friends. It wasn't like he was hiding it. He just literally said, dude, we're not friends. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Drazi's defending Vaush. I would imagine Drazi's defending Vaush, right? He's the MrGirl guy.
He's the pedo guy, yep.
I guess the tide here is against irrationality. If you go for my community to watch all that, feel free. From what I saw, it was insane, like genuinely unhinged. Saw a lot of people in my community saying that it was so bad faith it made them like viscerally upset, which is why I didn't watch it, you know? Ruben. He knows, Benjamin. It's fine. Yeah, of course, Greg Wills. It's like when a guy's trying to pick up a chick, and then when she denies him, they get really mad and say she's ugly, actually.
Is it like that?
What are you? What are you? Look at this little guy.
Oh, I had another clip I wanted to watch.
Oh, yeah, according to Ethan, you guys are all pedophiles, and if you're transgender and you're watching, I groomed you into delusionally believing that I have pro-trans politics. So that's all. You're learning this now about yourself.
I can't believe he's trying to use this. There's no
AO.
The furry's got you again, JSTLK.
MacBook moment.
Fuck. Oh fuck this stupid shit. I'm so fucking
okay.
Okay, it's back. No, dude, it's this fucking Blue Yeti piece of shit that every time the USB like gets slightly tweaked, it just mutes the mic.
Oh
entirely.
yeah,
like,
USB mics stops getting fucking ass.
I know that, but listen, when I bought the mic 4 months ago, when I started streaming, it was fine. Okay. Hey,
just a cold. I have
that's why they're asked.
Sure. What's up?
Is his defense still that he didn't know that it was Zoli, or like what? What's his?
His defense is that he thought they looked older than they did, or something, and
because I saw the short stack goblin thing, that comment that did he like defend the horse stuff at all?
Well, I mean, he defended the horse stuff by saying, "Yeah, I'm a weirdo sex freak who likes pretending I'm a horse."
Is that bestiality?
I have no idea.
No,
I mean, you got any more definitions for us? Yeah, he wants to be the horse.
Like if you're getting fucked by a horse, like that's bestiality too, right?
I'm half tempted to death until she leaves.
Nicker thing might be bestiality, unironically. Okay, I'm hitting play on this. We'll see if he's got any more nuggets of wisdom here.
Why did you drop out?
I can't just shout at these people.
That's news to me. And considering the fact that I talked to Progressive Victory this morning, I think you might just be wrong. I think you might be incorrect.
I think Vaush is doing a completely disjoint thing with Progressive Victory. Well, sorry, he was doing a completely disjoint thing with Progressive Victory. I have a feeling he will be dropping out very soon. Probably unrelated, maybe not unrelated.
Balbado, none of these channels actually give a shit or care about anything. A lot of them don't really have any moral positions either. It's just drama farming. We've been dealing with people like this the entire time of streaming. The main thing that I've had to learn to deal with is not people who dislike me or hate me or have different values than me, but people who have no values at all, you know? From a lot of people on the far right to a lot of people on the left, to Destiny, to this, clearly. the consistent pattern is not, I, have trouble with people who believe different things, only from people who don't believe things. But that's fine. It's not like this is new. Well, I don't know, Blotto. Ethan's live stream reached 54,000 watchers, almost as big as one of my streams.
Vaush even get a job could Vaush even get a job at McDonald's if he had to? Yeah, he could. He absolutely could.
Bro, what the hell are you talking about? You might think it's insane, but nobody's don't think that right now. Let me see if I can find a different way of conveying this information. Let me think
a different way of conveying.
Because I've been seeing a lot of this. That's okay. Okay. Let's say there's a guy called Andrew. Arbitrary name. If there's someone named Andrew, it's not a vague post. Just saying Andrew. First name that came to mind. Say there's a guy called Andrew. And he's a streamer, all right? Now, there's nothing really wrong with Andrew, but he's not been great at making friends. He's a bit belligerent. A lot of people don't like him is what I mean. And he goes to a streamer event, TwitchCon or something, okay? And at one of these meet and greets or one of these, social events, he's in the company of his peers. And he's around dozens of them. Let's say they're all getting food together. And at one point, while getting up to get some more food, he lets out a big fart. A really big, like, loud, attention-grabbing one, like, people quiet down after, like, a really bad, like, the kind of thing that people think about for the rest of their lives, and one of those, like, late-night,
that's what
morbid
this is like,
reflections on life and all the mistakes.
Vaush is totally fine.
Very embarrassing, to be sure. And after it happened, Andrew was like, oh, played it off as best he could, whatever. Now, the problem is lunch table politics is fully in effect here, right? So a lot of the people here, they don't like him too much. And somebody, you don't even know who at first, but somebody starts spreading the rumor that Andrew actually shit his pants. He didn't just fart. That was a sharp. He blasted his pants with shit. It smelled bad. Now, that sounds silly, but people really pick on it. I mean, people really, really, really pick it up, right? So Andrew gets back home from the event, gets back to streaming. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone is talking about it, right? Other streamers are talking about it, laughing. People are going over it and laughing, commentating over it, saying like, oh yeah, that was so gross. I always thought that guy was gross, etc.
I just feel like this immediately is already in the wrong direction. Like you need to acknowledge some things, and he's just completely deflecting again, as if this is only like made up and it's manufactured to fuck with him.
This is all a blindsiding, like completely out of nowhere. Andrew, right? So Andrew thinks, right? He thinks, hold on, okay, I've got a community of people who like me, a lot of whom seem to think I shit myself because that's the only information they've been provided. I can debunk this because this whole thing was live streamed, right? Yeah, it was a streamer event. He got up and farted and went and got food and sat back down and continued to eat there at that table for 2.5 hours, during which nobody acted weird around him in person. How could he have shit himself that was the case? Wouldn't people have in any way indicated that in the live stream, either over audio or video? Look at the tapes. He couldn't have shit himself, Andrew thinks. So Andrew goes online, he goes live, and he starts saying, look at this stream. Look, this whole time, I sat right next to people. The fart was awkward, yeah, to be sure, but wouldn't there have been a different reaction if I had shit my pants? I'm sitting right next to people who I don't even have a close relationship with. Wouldn't they have moved away from me or indicated that? Would somebody not have said something? The mic is picking up the speech from all the people there. But now people are just laughing harder. Now people are...
No, it's not that the porn folders are shitting your pants or like the leaking is. It's just a really bad analogy. There isn't. It isn't a direct
He's trying so embarrassed. He shit his pants.
It's the fart is like overage but young looking anime girls, and the shit is lolly. I think is the analogy that's being made here. Is that, guys? Everyone, if I was really a pedophile, everyone would have noticed beforehand. So I'd take an issue with it. That's the point he's making. He's like, oh, you guys are just saying this is actually CP to try and make the story worse, but it's actually not. It just seems really bad. It's just really embarrassing. So I think that's what he's going for here.
I mean, that is what he's going for. It's just that like there's the mountain of evidence, like supporting evidence that he's completely ignoring.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, but the issue is that this would usually work. But there's going to be a bunch of commentary videos about this now, not just Destiny mocking him on stream.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I was going to say that. Took the words from my mouth perfectly, that he thinks this is just Destiny shit talking him again, and it's not. It's like a completely different universe.
It's going to be all the clips laid next to each other again and again, all the evidence laid out in digestible videos that get hundreds of thousands of views. Yeah. It's a different thing.
Look at the tapes, I didn't shit myself. And this renewed, he's engaged with the drama now. So now there's more content for people to go over. Now other live streamers, commenters, whatever, they're making more videos. They're like, pant shitter defends himself. Right? And this is around the time, that Andrew notices something else. He doesn't know where the initial rumor spread about the pants shitting. He doesn't know. Maybe he'll never know. A lot of people seem to be picking up on it and believing it pretty firmly, though. Andrew gets the feeling that some of the people saying it don't care whether it's true or not. But now, pictures are circulating around. It looks like it's a screenshot from the live stream of the recording of the dinner they all did together. He was wearing gray pants, unsoiled, completely clean gray pants. But somebody has edited a frame from the live stream and added a dark smear to the backside of his pants. It circulates like wildfire. Look, he tries to defend himself in the video. Look, clearly this is the evidence. Now, this image is obviously.
This didn't happen. I don't know. What do you think he could possibly be applying this to?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I watched that whole Ethan stream, okay? I watched like the whole thing. Maybe I might have missed like 5 minutes of it. It didn't happen.
Doctored. It's just one frame out of the video. The video in its original form is still uploaded online in the servers of a third party, you know. But it doesn't stop people from taking to the picture. People lose.
Maybe he's talking about the clips not having every single syllable that he uttered in that like given context. Maybe that's
their minds. So what does Andrew do? Andrew goes live and he breaks down why that picture is fake. He goes, look at this. This is ridiculous. This is a single frame. First of all, the editing isn't even very good. Okay, look, it doesn't look like realistic. And what's more, like you can compare this against the video file. This is from when I got up. There's no, like you can look at the video footage and there's no, and how do you think people react to this? Oh, look, this guy's trying to fucking figure out the pants shooting. Look, he's denied. He's so fucking embarrassed. Oh my God. He's trying to like John Madden it with like red lines in a picture. You fucking kidding me? This dude shit his pants and he's trying to argue against it. What could Andrew have done? Because now this is a permanent feature of his reputation. What could Andrew have done? I ask you guys. Well, what I think, and I'm no expert, what I think is that, as I've often said in my live streams, people's willingness to hear the truth is heavily dependent upon the conditions in which they hear it, right? As we know, debates aren't a kill shot, you know? This is one of the reasons why I say that for the most part, people shouldn't go up and debate like Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro when they're doing their little college tours. Not only are they much more trained, both on the subject and media trained, but also the environment is against you. And even if you do well, they can clip around it, right? They have that power, you know? You don't have any power in that environment. You should try to stick to environments where you do have the ability to change people's minds. And I think that's what Andrew should have done. Raging against an overwhelming torrent of disingenuous mockery doesn't get Andrew anything. Instead, what Andrew should have done, in my humble opinion, and this is generally speaking what I do when people lie about me, is understand that direct engagement usually benefits the people who are disingenuous enough to lie in the first place. You wait until things have quieted down, at least a little, knowing the full time, by the way, that you can clarify things to your audience. There's nothing stopping Andrew from saying no, that didn't happen to his own audience. The mistake Andrew made was raging out, you know, against the entire community space. But as time goes on and the hysteria dies down, people who encounter him, watch his streams or whatever, will be more likely to go, oh, he didn't shit his pants. Okay, because he'll casually say it, you know? He won't like aggressively project this, you know, insecure seeming, you know, counter argument that just gets mocked or whatever. He's just kind of like, oh, yeah, no, that didn't happen. Like, seriously, you can look at the video. And that's more convincing to a lot of people because keep in mind, everything that everyone says online is framed through the medium through which they saw it. Meaning that him loudly raging against the nonsense would have been framed for most people through others mocking him for raging against it, right? Like the people he was trying to reach with all that raging. That wasn't like he was trying to reach the broader audience, but he can't reach them directly. He reaches them through other people. Now, none of this has anything to do with anything going on right now.
Okay.
So there's no comparison to be made.
I don't know if he's just delusional or coping here.
So you're saying you shit yourself?
I don't think he realizes quite how many people are going to be looking at this, and it is not possible. It is not possible to fully insulate yourself from outside perception. Like he's got a pretty good echo chamber going, but not that good. That's insane. Even Hassan is failing.
Experience getting through this, so I don't think that he's imagined a scenario where it's not as smooth as before, right? Because it's like the 5th time Horsecock comes up.
Yeah.
It's never come up with a fucking folder leak though.
True, yeah.
He's done this, and it's so funny that like you look at the Keffel's manifesto, this like exact pattern was laid out perfectly, right? Where he's like, he's not actually going to refer to anything, any like clips of what Ethan said or like how Ethan was wrong, except he might do the blood diamond bit. We'll see. But he's mostly not going to not actually look over the Ethan stuff. He's just going to tell his audience like what to think.
Oh, do you mean when Ethan said there are ways to ethically source blood diamonds?
Yes.
Yeah,
so that's going to be like the thing he focuses on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be frustrating. Chaeiry, you're a little low potentially. Do you want to maybe adjust your mic? Maybe turn it up if you can. And
okay,
then,
yeah, better.
It's a little better, yeah. I'll check the levels here and then.
I can make it louder.
Well, there you go, Benjamin.
Yeah, just a touch.
Did you just freestyle that? Because that was wonderful. Do you think I would have written all that down?
Okay.
Unorthodox monkey, every time I see you in chat, at least for the past week or so, you've displeased me. I smite you. May you return in a form more pleasing to me. I think he meant, did you think about this in advance? Well, I took a second to think first, right? There you go, Miss Jonah. You should swallow your pride, go in and show it. Did you hear anything that I just said? Okay, I was lying at the end when I said it's inapplicable to any current situation. I was drawing an analogy. Did you not understand any of that? Thanks, funny rhetorician. I know. I don't know why you would indicate that to me as though I did. I don't mean to be tetchy with you guys. If nothing else, I'm sure, you know, if credit is to be given for anything, probably reasonable to assume that when it comes to weathering disingenuous internet drama, I'm operating off of some, you know, some basis of experience, right? Probably a subject that I have thoughts on.
Exactly. Why would he ever do anything different if he's gotten through it so many times?
Yeah, I mean, that might be getting him here, that the way he got through, like, what was his last drama? I'm trying to think of, like, what his last drama was. I can't, maybe the oh, she wants to be, like, sexually harassed by the guys from Mad Men. Maybe that was his last drama.
No, Anna Kasparian, I think.
Oh, sure.
What was the last really big
one?
A lot
of misogyny, but it's quite a bit different. And then, yeah, it's, I think he's used to just, like, Destiny and other Twitch bowl people, like, coming after him.
The thing is that he can kind of, like, survive this. Like, he'll retain, like, the audience he's got, I think. He won't, like, seriously backslide. But he's going to be, like, majorly cut off from the outside.
Yeah, no growth.
Over this.
Yeah, no growth at all. And that's particularly shitty for him because he had the whole election season coming up.
Yep.
And this is, like, the only time he
I mean,
grows,
it could well be that he pushes through. It could be that he pushes through, that he just makes banger political content day in, day out, and grows still through the election. But it's going to be really fucking difficult. And he's not going to be able to collab with a lot of people ever again, I don't think. I mean, he doesn't anyway, let's be real. But
yeah, he really doesn't. But I had $100 on this guy, like, blowing up in this political cycle, and he fucked me.
Nobody listens. No, I've not seen Blue Eye Samurai yet. Essentially, yes, Fortuna. I have heard many recommendations of Blue Eye Samurai. Anyway, you guys really shouldn't fuss about this. Like I said, it's you can rage against the heavens or not. As I understand it, the sort of mishmash of nihilistic drama bait bullshit the H3 podcast was about was so incoherent. I don't even know what people are saying anymore. All I know is that it's either complete nonsense or fully encapsulated by stuff that we've been debunking for literal years in this channel. There's functionally no difference, at least not, you know, morally or experientially, between this and any other time Nazis have gotten rowdy about me. You know, it's just people in chat, I think, are acting differently because some of you guys liked or liked Ethan, which is fine, and I understand that. That being said, you can't harsh my vibe, guys. You know, it burns a lot of calories sitting here being right all the time. I gotta relax and play some Valheim. You understand, don't you? Yeah, it was a greatest hits compilation, DJ Mothman. Exactly.
Is he saying he didn't? He's saying he didn't watch the whole thing. He clearly watched all of it. Obviously, he watched all of it. Why wouldn't he?
Vaush,
we brought up logs earlier of him commenting on the whole thing.
Because it could be literally disproven by taking 10 minutes out of your day to... Yes, that's what lies are. This isn't a product of poor research. It's just, it's lying. Yes.
Jonas super chatted $5.12.
You know, you can
begin the
lose
work
a lot of your
Vaush
life
to
getting
PV.
frustrated at other people's willingness to be awful to you. And to an extent, that's your choice, but you shouldn't let that impede you in managing it appropriately, right? Like if you're despairing at it in a way that hampers you.
If any of this was true, why couldn't he just bring Ethan on and completely own him? Like, I understand him if he's saying Ethan's just lying. I understand why he doesn't want to go on Ethan's thing, maybe. But I don't understand why you couldn't just have Ethan on his show. Ethan accepted. That doesn't make any sense to me that he can't.
I mean, I think maybe he realizes that he sort of challenged Ethan knowing that he could win an lolly debate against Ethan. But then his PR strategy sort of maybe changed last minute. I don't know, because he's denying that there was any lolly at all. So I don't know. But it seems like that's a harder debate to win, is the I didn't have lolly debate versus the there's no moral issue with lolly or some shit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's all.
No, I
don't
think
know.
after the Keffels and Tipser Instagram post that he did, I just think that Vaush felt like there was maybe no charity that would be given to him. It was just gonna be an L. I don't think that Vaush collapsed unless he can definitely benefit in some way.
I see people in his chat trolling him. I recognize Spudnik.
Oh yeah, Willie Mack
asking
was
what
in
the
there
lies are.
roasting him earlier, apparently.
Oh, there's going to be a Willie Mack video, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, I know, Sergeant Dave. You know, you all need to get it out of your system now, because I will be muting you people for continuing to drama farm in chat when we're playing Valheim. Can't let you get in the way of that. Exactly, Annie. Okay, but Vaush, weren't you moderately raging against the machine 2 streams ago? No, I don't think so. But if your point is that sticking your neck out too far can get you clipped, then yes, as you're about to find out, that is true. Hush. I think me and chat just really want this to be something that can be resolved if someone just sat Ethan out on the facts. No, guys, come on. When has it ever worked that way on this channel? When do you... Have you watched anything? I not even just here, I mean broadly. That's not how it works. This is why people have shower arguments. You know, everyone likes to soothe themselves with reassuring fantasies that if placed in precisely the right place, they would be able to get other people to understand how they feel, to correct misconceptions or to debunk lies in a convincing way. Everyone likes to believe this. It's a universal phenomenon. The reason why it's universal is because it is universally fantastical. It is a fantasy. Very rarely does this actually happen. For the most part, for example, on a global stage, disagreements of ideology or fact are usually settled with economic or military disputes. Now,
Max the Confessor with a $2 super chat to Vaush. Quee Farms sends its regards.
Let's go.
I hate this argument from him. The idea that somebody can engage in like conflict resolution economically or like militarily, but doesn't know how to engage in interpersonal conflict is just ridiculous.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. This is all. I feel like none of this is going to make sense to us because this is just for his like cult that he's cultivated, right? Like nothing he says is actually going to be super tethered to reality. Except I'm pretty sure the Blood Diamond, he's going to bring that argument up, like, oh, look, this is why they're bad faith.
Exchange of power. Interpersonally, this is usually the case too. When people dislike other people, they convince themselves.
By the way, just to tie this into a larger point I make all the time about lying about populists, you can't lie about people who have like this cult of personality, because if you lie about them, especially if you have them on bad shit, you just describe the behavior accurately, sorry. Because if you don't describe it accurately, if you overplay your hand, everybody who's in that cult will never listen to you again. Because the second you over describe what's happening, they'll think you're operating bad faith, just trying to hurt the cult leader. So that's exactly what's going to happen now with Vaush.
When in reality, they often don't like their vibe. You know, whole friend circles can be torn apart.
What's that?
Sounds familiar.
Part over largely arbitrary and vibes-based assessments of others that then get recontextualized as people justify post hoc why they feel this, that. You know, you could especially me, like more so than any of you, to be fair. You would think I would engage in this fantasy as well, but I've been dispelled of it. Trust me, this has happened enough times. Okay, when people hate you and want to lie, they hate you and want to lie. That's it. You know, you can fantasize about like oh well, if I just said this, that. No, for the most part, it doesn't work that way. You know, the presumption of good faith is exactly that, a presumption, and it's often an unjustified one. Most of the time, when people are interacting, especially in an online space, like with all the clout in the games and the blah blah blah, in an environment like this, most of the time, good faith is not the first priority, to say the least. So don't worry about it. You know, because I see people, everyone's like, oh, I'm just so mad. I get that you're mad, and I appreciate that, but if you think an injustice has been done, there are two roads you can go, and one of them helps both of us, and one of them doesn't. And the bad road that you can go down is one of anger and mutual commiseration, and you let the community be defined by indignation of what other people have done, or you be cool. If you like the community, and you must think this is wrong, then be cool and make the community good.
What?
I don't know. I'm only half listening to him now, to be honest.
No, Chainsaw Chimera.
I'm not. He's saying like, well, I shouldn't say. I didn't listen to what he just said. What I assume he was saying, based on how he finished, was like, we're not going to keep looping on this. You just like, we're going to focus on building positively and moving forward. But again, I actually was looking at a Twitter thing just a second ago, so I don't know what he said.
Is it more interesting?
Why?
It's not. But I'm about done with Vaush. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
This one is a big. All right. Real quick. Okay, you're right. No amount of speeches will dispel you guys.
I don't know. I'm going to see what else we got here.
Benjamin, if you do that again, you too.
I definitely just got like I set up a channel in my Discord. It's Vaush memes. Okay, if you have Vaush memes, if we just want to roast this guy and laugh at him for the rest of the night, we can do that. All right. Anyway, I'll be right back.
An abstention on 1 mute.
Look, I don't hate Vaush. I feel like
I definitely understand where you're coming from, Vaush.
he hasn't been terrible to me
because
over
I'm
this
the
past
sun.
year.
And we are all basking in the beautiful rays of light.
Never had any interaction with the guy, so
Another game
I don't
pretty,
hate
pretty
him
light
at
ones.
all.
We gotta play Valheim.
I knew it was a lolicon, so I'm not surprised by any of this.
I just want to tell people I like Vaush without being called. Okay. How about this? I've never exactly had a great reputation online. I think this is mostly the product of people hating me and not my behavior, but opinions vary. The main thing that people say to me or in my community, when they initially believe that I'm bad but are dispelled of that notion, is that the community's positivity won them over. That actually, it's not that bad. You guys are great. I'm great. Tell me, are you acting great right now with this whining and doomerism? Are you acting great? Are you being productive? Are you, if you're so concerned with the stability of the community, oh, this is bad. No, it's not fair. Who would be convinced by this? Certainly not other people from outside the community who already dislike me and you, by extension. They would just see it as evidence to this community's obsession with being the victim of self-inflicted drama and nothing else.
So that is, again, just like, we're going to stop spiraling on this. We're just going to move forward. We're going to ignore it, pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. Someone asking, do you think Hassan is a lolicon too? Why would I think Hassan is a lolicon? Is there evidence for that?
Reason to think that. Yeah, no reason to think that at all. Had Shoe on Head reacted to this drama yet? I don't know. Fuck Shoe on Head. She has me blocked on Twitter.
What did you do to her?
I asked her why she was posting just a huge thread of Jewish conspiracy theories.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna check some stuff out. I'm looking for other content now, guys.
Yeah, I'll consider it something. All right.
Damn, that guy in chat just trolled me hard. He's like, do you think Hassan's a lolicon too? I'm like, why would I think that? His next reply in chat is, damn, just a question.
All right, Mom, you can mute anyone who's annoying. I'll read all the donations that have been donated up until this point at the end of stream. Until then, I'm turning TTS on. There we go. Valheim.
What did you think was better? Horsecock Gate or Tom Tent?
Tom Tent, let's go. Someone say Tom Tent.
I don't know. I feel like Vaush is a worse person, to be honest. Like, Tom's just like...
Tom's more
honestly,
entertaining through it, though.
I think the Tom stuff was very funny in that it was like purely self-inflicted at all times. I mean, the Vaush stuff is like that too.
It's not,
but like I don't think Vaush could have won at any point. I think Tom could have like saved himself at like 100 different points, and the continued failure to do that is what made it funny.
Can someone throw together one of those tier makers? Can we rank sex pests in the online space?
Oh, let's go. So yes, someone please make a sex pest tier list. Holy fuck. That'd be great. 30 minutes of content.
Would it?
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Oh boy.
Are you kidding?
I got one more clip.
That's a segment.
Tried to warn us. It could be a segment. For its sake, I hope there isn't a cat folder too. I think this is like Beckett's thing.
Oh, as like
little guy. Little man. Little dude. No, you're going to walk on my keyboard. You're going to hit random buttons. You're going to bring up my horse folder. You can't do that. Ooh.
All right. Decent meme. Fuck, I don't know if I want to watch any more of the Cope. Well, he's switching over to Valheim anyway.
Okay, that sounds about right audio-wise. And now full screen.
I'm guessing Kevil's rated him or something.
Full screening doesn't automatically upscale the resolution to native for your monitor. That's interesting. Okay. Boop.
Dude, Tom's a better person because Tom hasn't done quite the same shit that Vaush has done, in my opinion, in terms of like how he just lies, like he just did to his audience.
I don't think lying is a differentiating factor. I think if you were going to do anything, you would say that Vaush has done more damage because he's got more influence and has caused more damage that way, right?
No, I think Vaush is aware he's lying. Sorry, I think Vaush is aware he's lying. I don't know if
so you think Vaush
is
more Machiavellian than
Machiavellian, if that's the word you're going to use, yeah. Absolutely. I think I legitimately, after watching that clip of Tom like trying to write out Sunday's argument and being like knowing he had him, after I watched that, I'm like, okay, no, this guy's
like retarded.
Yeah, this is too bad.
That was hilarious, man. What is it again? It's like, I didn't go on because of Mantis. Next line, I wouldn't have gone on if Mantis didn't go on.
Yeah, it was also
totally
something about like
coherent.
he didn't know she was on. I think it was that he didn't know she was on, or he was unaware she was on, but also he went on because she was getting attacked.
Yeah.
It was like a weird timing thing, but he's just like so sure he was right. And then he was wrong, and then he was like, "Okay, guys, I gotta go," and ended stream, and hasn't been live since.
Yeah, no, I tried
It's a
to
rough
find
one.
out if he was going to be live tonight, but I couldn't get any info.
No.
No.
Reuben, $2 super chat. Vaush gonna play some Valheim. Valheim. Oh, hey, like hey for horses. Valheim. Good one.
To be honest, I'm just spawn camping Tom at this point. That's just, I've been waiting for this.
Oh, I didn't play it for my stream because I'm kind of
Vito
done
will
with the
join
Tom
us
10.
tonight
Vito? What?
about
Vito?
the Vaush stuff. Possibly if he finishes editing.
Yo, if Vito does come in, I may have to pull in favors and say Starla needs to have a call in.
Who?
Not
to
I don't know if
ambush
you've got
him,
the
no.
favors. I don't know if you have the favors to get
Come on
Stylo
now,
in here with
come
him.
on
I'm
now.
sorry. I think Stylo's funny, but I'm not gonna inflict Stylo on somebody in a surprise fashion.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Who
I
is
like Stylo
Stylo?
because I know Stylo. He's a Chud community member, Kuihman community member too. He streams with Kuihman sometimes.
He's a internet friend.
I would say just ask him. Vito's usually down.
What? Well, hold on. Why does Stylo want to join?
Stylo is Vito's biggest fan. I kid you not.
Oh, actually though.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, for like a
full-throatedly.
glazed sesh?
Maybe then.
Well, yeah, I'll see if he's got
I
anything to say. But he was desperate last time. He almost got the opportunity. So I'd feel like a dick if I didn't mention it. But he's got nothing to say.
I thought you were like saying like he's got beef with Vito.
No.
He
I'm
needs to come in.
not trying, dude. I'm not trying to ambush your
Yeah.
guests. Dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right.
You're out of your mind, dude.
No, you weren't trying to ambush. You said Stylo. You can't blame me for my brain when you say I want Stylo to come in to go where it would naturally go. Okay. Stylo's a bit of a troublemaker sometimes.
Stylo is a pro pedophile troublemaker. Okay, so.
Yeah, I kind of thought Vito would be looking to defend Vaush here, but apparently he's been like killing Vaush on Twitter. Is it Vito comedy? Yeah, apparently he's been not happy with what the fuck is this? That's weird. Probably fine, but also weird.
Wait, has he been killing Vaush? I thought he was killing the people defending him or something like that.
No, well, I mean, he's going after Vaush too. There's the MrGirl clip that I got from his Twitter.
Oh, right.
Where Vaush is like,
absolutely
Vaush is
seething in
like a
chat.
pedophile to MrGirl. Vito says he's projecting.
Yeah.
Is it not dangerous just scrolling Twitter on stream? Is that not worry? Does that not concern you?
That concerns me greatly. I just scrolled over something that could be a little sketchy too. But I don't know. Normally if I'm scrolling like somebody, it's usually marked pretty well, right? Other than the Scott not Scott. Justin Moan stuff. That was stupid. I definitely should not have done that. Do you think MrGirl defended Vaush to try to get him canceled? Like knowing that MrGirl's reputation is so toxic that an endorsement actually hurts Vaush? I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't think Max operates at that level.
It's totally consistent with everything else he says as well. Like obviously, he's gonna
Wait,
defend
JSTLK,
Vaush,
can you give him perms so he can see the channels?
Sure. I'm surprised I didn't have him with perms before. Is he gonna jump in right away? Oh shit! Hold on. I'm like starting to lose my voice as well, which is a little concerning. We'll see how this goes. Gonna get more water. Oh, I didn't give him perms.
He's in gaming. Can you drag him up?
No, I just gave him perms. He can move.
Oh, okay.
Do it yourself.
I mean, I could drag him too. It's fine. Hey Vito, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey.
Cool. Hey. A lot of horse fuckery these days, huh?
Yeah, it's going
Yeah.
around.
I'm confused what side you're on.
Well, isn't that the best way to be? You don't want to play your whole hand, right?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, here's the most important. Well, maybe not the most important part for everybody, but the most part for me is Vaush is a dumb hypocrite idiot. He's spent a lot of time being like, oh, this guy's a pedophile, this guy's a pedophile, these people are looking at lolly, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, but that was all projection. You're doing the exact same thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these guys who, look, if somebody's looking at anime porn, I'm not going to tell you, I don't know how old Sailor Moon is, and it's up to you if you want to beat off to a Sailor Moon picture, okay? I think if you watch the show, she's in high school, so theoretically it's not okay, but as the bare-naked ladies say, I like the boom anime babes that make me think the wrong thing. So, whatever floats your boat, just don't be a fucking hypocrite about it, and that's what Vaush is. And he goes, they look like goblins. And I'm like, well, why is it okay if they look like goblins? How is that? What does that fucking mean? You can't go to court. And then he goes, you fucked that 12-year-old. And you go, officer, I thought she was a goblin. That's not part of it. You don't get to do that.
Sure. In his defense there, I think he means like short, squat girls who are like thick, thick legs, thick thighs. That's what he meant. But that is also not the pictures at all that were in the folder. Describes none of the pictures that were in that folder.
Also feels insulting to short, thick girls that they're goblins.
I saw the pictures and I went, yeah, that's like that's a little 8-year-old anime girl getting the shit banged out of her. That ain't no goblin, man.
Yeah.
And again, look, I think it's weird. I'm not into it, but I'm not going to tell somebody, they're the scum of the earth if that's what they want to beat off to. Different strokes for different folks. Okay, it's not illegal. I don't care. Just when you go on, there's all these guys who like feel like they have to be more, and maybe Vaush has to, because Vaush has been called a pedophile so many times that he's felt like he needs to take this extreme hardline angle against, like, oh, well, that's degenerate, blah, 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 this is horrible. But at the end of the day, it's like, Vaush, I know you're into something sick and weird. Now we've confirmed it. So just, didn't he go after like that Pipkin Pippa lady and was saying she's, a lolly and she's just making content for pedophiles and stuff like that?
I thought he was saying she was a Nazi. Is that not what she said? Or
I think he called her a Nazi, but he said like she's like a pedophile. She's like pedo bait for Nazis or whatever.
She is she's a different type of bait. The only thing I know about that VTuber is that she went viral for putting razor blades up her pussy and posting the pictures. That's
base dedication to your job.
You're not beating the incel vibes, okay?
Oh, listen. I wouldn't be an incel if I knew someone like Pippa.
I just think
Jeez,
Vaush.
Why did you push me into saying that, Chaeiry? You're
I
sick.
don't know. Why did
I think
you say
Vaush
it?
is a liar. I think he does everything for optics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But then how does he look so bad right now?
Just now?
Well,
Sorry,
he looks bad now.
Yeah.
Well, why does he look so bad right now? Well, because first of all, after it's revealed that you're beating off to like weird, fucked up horse porn, you do not get a window of time to explain it away as goblins. That's not how this PR debacle works. You don't get to go, well, actually, no. Just Vaush. Just say, yeah, I'm into weird anime shit. That's it. That's the only thing you can say at this point. Okay, there is no excuse. And then you can stop, I don't know, pretending that you're some bastion of sexual purity.
Yeah,
again,
but
like
the
I made
word
a video.
Weird is offensive. And once you say weird, these people get very defensive.
I need to grab water real quick. Just keep going, guys.
I mean, Vaush is leftist degenerate, as I would also consider myself a leftist degenerate. And he's got to abandon this moral high ground he thinks he has over the anime people, because I don't know, man. I've just seen like clips of him being like, "Oh, this guy's into lolly, and this guy's a pedo." And obviously, like he had MrGirl on, and he had this big performative outrage when MrGirl was on with him, and he's like,
"Right,
you sound like a pedophile. I can't talk to pedophiles." Blah, blah, blah. And MrGirl's like, "I'm not a pedophile."
He hung up
dude.
on him.
Yeah, he hung up on him.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, man. Well, you had your moral grandstanding moment of go, I would never consider anything, blah 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 blah, and then you got all this weird underage horse porn fucking anime.
Did you
It's
catch
like,
the second part after that, Vito, where he like hangs up and then he's still playing Metroid and he goes, yeah, like anybody who looks at Lolly like needs to give themselves like they need to take a hard look at themselves because it's probably an indication of your attraction to kids or something along those lines.
Fucked up for not pulling that clip. Shit, I didn't know that clip's out there.
It's something close to that. I believe it's from the same stream.
Did you see the video I made that was like kind of just I don't know if you probably can't play it on YouTube because even though I censored it, I like showed some of the pictures he was looking at.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because he's going on and on. He's like, well, I just thought, they're like goblins, short, thick goblins.
Yeah, he's just lying. He's just lying and hoping nobody will look at them.
There's like a couple photos in that folder I could say like were some sort of red-skinned fantasy creature or something. But then there's just others that are just like one of them is just blatantly
kids. Like, it's like two kids, right?
10,
yeah, it's blatantly
10-year-old child or something. Yeah.
It's like a kid getting held from behind by a dude who's plowing her as another kid like licks her whatever. And I'm like, dude, there's no explaining that.
Yeah, that's drawn child porn, dude. There's no. That's not.
I'm like, I've seen some horrible things, and that's up there in terms of like, oh my god. Like, let's put it this way. Again, I don't want to send anybody for jail for over pictures or whatever. But I went over to my buddy's house and left the room, and I looked at his computer and he had a folder full of that shit. I'd be like, oh man, do I really want to hang out with this fucking guy? What the fuck is he looking at?
Dude. Oh my god. The one that's like there's like one that's like a threesome with a horse and like a girl who looks probably like 16. And then there's another girl that's like rimming the horse that looks 10. Like it's just like
so
what
wretched,
are you doing?
man.
I saw the one. There was one with two girls like jerking off a horse, and I was like, well, they could be 18, so that's fine. But some of the other ones,
I am so happy. I don't know what you guys are talking about because I have not looked
There's
at
a
them.
big horse dick in a bucket of cum.
Not
so
interested.
They're milking this horse, and it looked like AI generated or something.
Now, if this was about octopus, is it octopus or octopi?
Octopi would be the plural. Multiple octopi.
If these were about octopi, I might have looked at the folder. But horses, I'm out.
Look, it just makes Lolly. It just makes Vaush. I don't know why I'm calling him Lolly. Lolly Vaush. Look like a fucking hypocrite.
Wait, minus the kids, of course. Wait, fuck. Minus there being young people.
Oh, that is yeah.
Yeah, the horses are what weirds Chaeiry out. The children, those are fine. That's all fine.
And then it's just, I mean, so look, some people are taking it too far, though. I think, I don't know, like, wasn't Ethan Klein like basically saying, like, anybody saying Vaush now is like a danger to children? I'm gonna be like, well, that's a stretch, there's a lot of guys looking at degenerate anime shit. Like, obviously, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm not going to say it's going to manifest in real life behavior. It's just kind of.
I mean, I'd say it's two ways of taking that. It's like you probably wouldn't leave your kid around him, but also he's probably not actively trying to predate, right? It's probably.
Yeah, and also, I don't know. Whenever I see like, again, I talk about Sailor Moon. If you're attracted to Sailor Moon, you're really attracted to actual 14-year-old girls. No, they don't look the same at all. It's like a completely different. And even the pictures like in his folder are like so stylized where I'm like, I can't make the leap and say this guy's attracted to actual children. He might actually just be attracted to weird fucking tiny nymph elf women or whatever the fuck it was. But at the end of the day, this is a guy who's judged people for their pornographic habits and judged people for their sexual interests. And now it comes out that he's like a fucking horse porn. Like, that's pretty weird, man. Why are
Do you feel vindication for your boy Max?
Oh, and I talked to him recently, and I called him up the night of the Vaush revelations, and I said, I'm like, that guy was projecting pretty hard, huh? He's like, he was projecting super hard. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing that concerns me is just the level of projection is wild.
The second tweet the one that you just showed us, JSTLK, so funny. Have you seen the newer tweet of Max's?
No, I'll take a look.
Oh,
I saw the first thing he responded with. Oh, the one about his health class or whatever, his Chinese class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag I stand with Vaush.
I stand with Vaush.
Yeah, just burying him in the dirt. This is Vaush's only ally now. It's over. Oh man,
I should accept it. Vaush should have.
Yeah.
Actually, the reason. So I was like kind of friendly with Vaush, and Vaush. Here's the other problem with Vaush, and I think Destiny tweeted this out, and he's like, it kind of sucks for Vaush that he doesn't have any friends because he's a fucking asshole who like fucks up every possible relationship he could have. And it was the same thing where like I was kind of friendly with Vaush, but then he had MrGirl on, basically called him a pedophile and said, you know, nobody should go on his Discord because he's gonna rape you or whatever. And I sent like a message to Vaush and I'm like, hey man, I think you misunderstood MrGirl. Like, yeah, he's provocative and he says fucked up shit, but he definitely does not want to fuck kids. And in fact, I think he's very clearly against it. And Vaush was like, fuck you, pedophile, and blocked me. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, to you too.
Yeah.
So this is a classic case of
I
protesting
tried like
too
a couple
much.
months ago. I was like, Vaush, can we like, you know, look, I understand that you were like really sensitive about that debate and you thought maybe he was trying to make you look bad. Can we be buddies again? And he was basically like, no, I have no time for you, Vito. And I'm like, all right, man, fuck it. So yeah, that's the one thing is like I don't want to defend. I can't defend. First of all, look, I'm defending him insofar as I don't think he's done anything illegal. But at the end of the day, I kind of like a bunch of people giving him shit and talking shit about him because he kind of deserves it because he's an asshole. He thinks he's better than everybody. He thinks it's rules for thee, not for me, right? Because he tells everybody, "Oh, I can't believe you'd look at that degenerate, fucked up anime shit." And he's got a folder full of shit that's like way worse than anything I would look at. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, Vaush, I stop at Sailor Moon and I'm good. What the fuck is this 8-year-old looking shit?
Do you feel like whatever weight it puts on him to have like Max be his defender, do you feel like he should turn around and be like, listen, I did this wrong for you, and you know what? I'm gonna put you on the same page as me and defend you as well?
Well, that's definitely not gonna happen. Vaush is too much up his own
What if he did?
butthole.
Yeah, that's true.
What would he do? If there's no universe in which Vaush is not the king of the kingdom, he'll never admit fault in anything.
Oh,
If
it's
anyone
so
goes,
insufferable.
yeah, if anyone goes, hey, that's definitely some kids getting fucked by a horse, he'll go, well, you know, if you compare them to the fairies from the 1842 novel, yeah, it would be like, okay, whatever. He's gonna come up with some mythological excuse for why they're actually 400-year-old dragons and makes it okay.
That's like the perfect way to describe it, is he needs to be the king of the castle. I think that's why he couldn't get along with Destiny. I think that's why he like split from him, is like, if I can't be, you know, the god to this community, then I don't want it. I'll just make my own community. And it's fine if it's a little smaller, but I need to be like, this is all about me. It's all a monument to like my ego.
Yeah, I don't know. Why did Vaush and Destiny actually split up? I know it was a contentious thing.
So they split up. Sorry, I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
you might know better than me, Chaeiry. I was just gonna say they kind of split up twice. Where like they split up initially, and Vaush left the community. I think that was over some sex pest stuff. So Ethan covered that at the end of his stream, where like Vaush basically got banned from the Discord because he was honestly,
ladies.
Yeah, he was honestly like a sex pest. And then he like made his own community and he got big, and Destiny still like platformed him and stuff. I feel like Destiny felt bad. Destiny took down his video over the whole sex pest thing because they had an argument over it. And he took down the video and he like tried to help Vaush out. And then, yeah, I think it was like a Kyle Rittenhouse debate. And then a little bit later, they had a debate over where Destiny fucked with him over, who was the woman who got like, people think she got killed in her sleep, but she didn't. There was 2 debates around these 2 topics from the BLM summer, and Vaush got embarrassed. And then Breonna Taylor, yeah. And then Vaush was like done. I think the Breonna Taylor one was also the one where like Vaush was defending Hassan's mansion as well. Vaush looked like awful, and then he was just like, we're never talking to Destiny again. So they broke up a second time.
Isn't Vaush hasn't it come out recently that like his family is independently rich or something?
For a long time.
No,
it's that under VFX
I think you're
studio,
thinking of
isn't it?
Hassan having a trust fund, right?
Well, I know Hassan does, but I thought they figured out like Vaush has like
Vaush's dad is known as he's a Hollywood VFX artist, right? He runs a VFX studio, I believe. That's been
okay,
known for a
so
long time.
he comes from money of some sort.
Well, yeah, there's a whole clip, isn't there, of what was it? Where he's like,
Hills.
yeah, I grew up in the poor part of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man, that Hollywood nepotism drives me crazy. Because every time you see these guys and they're like, I don't know why I'm so successful and popular. I'm like, well, when you start off with a couple $1 million in your pocket, it helps a lot.
just gets you by for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you get a bit of a head start on everybody else. You had Pro Tools when you were 12. I had to wait to buy a Macintosh. So yeah, look, Vaush is insufferable and dumb and a pervert. And I don't know, where does he go from here? I mean, I don't know if this matters, you know, because his audience is probably full of anime perverts anyway.
It's like trans people, right?
It won't matter. Yeah, it will not matter to like his direct audience. But I think I don't know. Consensus seems to be he'll have a really hard time growing this election season, and he probably had a good chance to grow right with his political content. But
well, if if people are only, here's the thing that we've learned is there's a lot of people who never go on Twitter, you know, because I always have people. I have a lot of people go to me and they go, Vito, you've been involved in a number of controversies. Why don't you make a big YouTube video explaining it all? I'm like, and tell those people about it? No, not at all. They can live in the dark. As far as they know, I've done nothing. So Vaush could just grow independently, and you know, as long as he filters out the words horsecock from his comments, like he might do okay for himself.
Can he, Vito? I don't think so. Okay, horsecock comes up every year. It's like seasonal content.
It's a big part of the political process. I know everyone's always talking about horsecock.
I don't think I've gone a single year, and I think I've been in the space for like 4 years. I haven't gone a single year where that hasn't like actually become discourse.
Yeah. Well, what is he on Social Blade? Has he lost any subscribers?
Oh,
again, the problem with trying to take down a leftist,
he's lost about 5,000.
Oh, really?
Go ahead.
Really? Yeah. Wow, that's actually surprising. Why can't I find his channel on?
It's Vaush V or Vaush V or Vaush Video. I think it's Vaush V.
Okay, I found him. About 5,000 subscribers.
Oh.
And
that didn't come up for me, but
so I think what most people are concerned about, or feigning concern, because nobody really cares about him doing better, is the idea that this is an election year and this would be a year that he sees growth. So going backwards is probably like worse than anything most people would project. They would just project that he's not going to grow the way that he should this year.
I don't know. Again, it's the kind of thing where, look, he's not going to go on any debates because, you know, at any point someone could go, but didn't you download horse porn? And then he loses. No, I don't know if anyone would pull that. I think, look, the problem about trying to say, hey, this leftist is a degenerate sexual weirdo isn't that kind of all leftists? Okay, it's the party
seems like it's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's the party of, you know, your kid cutting their dick off, which is fine. It's your choice. I don't want to do it. So, yeah, he'll squeak by on that. His audience is probably full of, you know, anime degenerates who are looking at probably the same, if not worse. There will be a number of people, obviously, who take it more seriously and want to get the fuck out of Dodge. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe his goblin dodge is a good dodge. If anybody,
specific audience.
Well, there's always gonna be the number of people who don't want to see what he was actually looking at, you know. So you can just tell him, yeah, it was fucking goblins, man. Like, oh, okay, well, I accept that.
Vito, if you're maximizing for career right now as Vaush, what would you do?
Maximize. Well, the question is, what does Vaush want? What does Vaush want to just stay on YouTube forever? I assume.
Yeah, I think so.
There's nowhere else
for him to go. Any hopes for public office. I don't think he cared about public office.
I don't think he cared about public office either. And why would you when you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in super chats? I would just keep doing this. Yeah. So yeah, he's a political commentator with some fucking weird baggage in the closet. I mean, what do you call it?
I think he doesn't actually want to be in an echo chamber. I think this bothered him because he felt like the Destiny thing, like they didn't work out. They can't be cordial or anything. And he maybe hoped that that was going to be the case with Ethan. And now that can't be the case with Ethan, and also Hassan never wants to mention him, it seems like whatever he would want, it doesn't even look possible.
So was Vaush doing, were Vaush and Hassan streaming? Like, was that a regular thing?
No. Hassan wouldn't acknowledge Vaush at all.
And when he did, it was like subtweeting.
Okay, so who is Vaush's like? Vaush was like kind of becoming friends with Ethan Klein because they love the Jews.
Or
do they not love the Jews?
They
I don't
just
actually know what Vaush
they had a slight. They were both leftists. They had a slight disagreement, but they hashed it out privately over DMs. And I think for Vaush, that's what he would hope for.
Vaush to me seems like a cantankerous individual who is incapable of growing. He can't build like a network, because anytime he gets into a network, he just has to be king of the castle. Everybody else is less intelligent and less perfect than him, and he either scares people away or he just outright breaks ties with them. He did it with Destiny. Obviously, he did it with MrGirl, and yeah, he will just be in an echo chamber forever. It's the Vaush show, you know. I mean, what? Maybe you could find some other communists to hang out with, but I don't know who even goes on Vaush's thing. Like, nobody's, right?
I think
nobody
goes on
thing.
at all.
Vaush just talks by himself.
He doesn't even do guests. Yes, but he's streaming right now to 5,000 people for just like whatever.
He
so
plays
that's all
video games.
Playing video games, which is crazy.
Yeah. So he can just stream video games and he'll make money, and that's it. And look, at the end of the day, he was never going to have any major. Has Vaush really affected the political discourse in this country? No, I think he's just given a bunch of anime retards a place to hang out, play video games, and pretend communism is coming back. Like, it's all just been, these people don't vote. These people don't hold political office, him and all his fans. They're just a bunch of weirdo, young trans kids hanging out playing Metroid and complaining about the government. It doesn't really go anywhere. So, yeah, he can just keep doing that forever. And that's it.
I think they are a niche community. I think they mostly play video games, meme, and exchange commentary about goblin porn.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't always go out and canvas. I think they're trying to, but they do like fundraisers and stuff. I don't want to just completely shit on them.
Right.
But yeah, it's things that they do from the comfort of like their home.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, and I get it. Hey man, if you can make money sitting in a chair playing video games while pretending that you're furthering the communist cause. I mean, maybe you are. I don't fucking know.
It just kind of sucks. I thought didn't he do really good when he went out and did the Tim Pool podcast?
Yeah,
that was like
he's a good speaker, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a good speaker. He needs to be less up his own fucking ass, and he just needs to be like friendly. He's such an asshole. And
I think he's actually
choose who to be an asshole to. He's good at being an asshole.
No, he's good at being friendly. Like, sorry, when he did the progressive, he did like a live event in like DC or something.
Yeah.
He seemed really good at being friendly. I assume it's all fake. I assume he's still the same egotistical asshole behind just a mask. But the mask was good from what I saw.
I mean, I can understand why he's angry. Some people have said things about him. I mean, he's got crazy quotes in his past that, going, there's no moral argument against child pornography. You're like, Vaush, I know what convoluted little logic game you're playing here, but just don't say that. I mean, again, I don't know, maybe you got your
ego
airplay.
ruins people. Just having an ego ruins people, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really does. And honestly, I think one of the best things you can learn is to leave your ego at the door. If you can abandon your ego, you become infinitely stronger. Because ego will destroy you. I see so many people who destroy their lives because they go, well, they didn't respect me, so I had to act in Maddox. You've been seeing any of the Maddox drama?
I've seen a little bit of the Maddox and Dick stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Maddox is a perfect example of if at any point he just shut the fuck up and said, yeah, I fucked up a good thing because I was jealous. I do a podcast with this guy, Dick Masterson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He used to do a podcast with a guy named Maddox. They had a falling out, and the falling out was for a number of very stupid reasons. One of which was Dick dating his ex-girlfriend, who he broke up with like 2 years prior. Another one was like Dick joking around saying, yeah, I'm not Maddox's friend. I just do the podcast for money. Like, clearly joking around.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maddox, in the last couple months, made like a huge 3-hour documentary about how Dick Masterson's the worst person in the world. And you're like, bro, this is not, you gotta get over it. You gotta stop going, I was disrespected, nobody understands. And this has been Vaush's whole thing. Vaush is like, you know, all these people lie about me and they say horrible things about me, and it's like, yeah, it sucks, I get it, but just like get over it, and move on and forge new friendships. So yeah, and also Vaush, stop lecturing people about what's in their porn wheelhouse when you're looking at little anime nymphs jerking off a horse cock. It's weird.
Also, can you guys not get girls? Like, that is the energy that I'm getting right now. Are you guys not big YouTubers and are like 2 hours away?
What, Chaeiry? What are you saying?
Why is this folder existing? I thought
Doesn't
2
Vaush
hours
have a
away.
Isn't he married?
I don't think so.
Even if he is,
talk
he's
about
non-monogamous.
Other than wanting to fuck a woman as a horse.
What was that girlfriend that was in the background that one time? Did he break up with her?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they broke up a long time ago.
I've seen that picture,
sure,
but
yeah.
Here's a video from 2019, mental health stream with my girlfriend. Maybe broke up with her though.
No, I'm pretty sure
maybe a long time ago. I think he said he's bi, mostly into dudes. I think.
Wait,
it's been a long time.
He's mostly into guys now.
That's what I thought I heard. I mean, I'm not like just trying to like smear him.
He's one of those like femboy chasers, as far as I can
Someone
tell,
says he is a
believe.
femboy roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, look, yeah, he's got a little twink. He's got a little twink boyfriend he's keeping around. I get that, but I saw that folder. This is a man who wants ladies. He's not looking for guys, unless they dress up like pretty little women, and he can, you know, bang their buttholes till the cows come home.
By the way, I just want to say, Vito, I never met you before. I really love how you put the quartering in his place. Super cool. Appreciate that.
Did I do that? Like recently with his stupid coffee shit?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He always has been, and it's just nice to see.
I used to be friendly with that guy like 4 years ago because I was like, oh, he's like doing it as like for the longest time. I was like, look, the quartering's not that smart, but I think he's smart enough to get that like everything he's saying is bullshit. But now it's gotten to the point where I go, oh no, he's starting to believe it.
But
you know, there's like a certain
nerd,
point.
right?
There was a certain point where he's like, I'm just saying this for views, and then it turned into, no, I legitimately think that I'm gonna save the world by telling you how Disney is cucked or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, oh fucking shit, what happened? No.
He jumped into all that because he got banned from the Magic the Gathering community for hate rating women cosplayers.
Yes, which was embarrassing.
And then turned into like a super conservative political commentator after. This is super weird.
Yeah, I remember when he was did not have that big a following, and he basically, I mean, it's another one of those examples of the left fucking up and making a guy who's retarded into a superstar. Because he went to like a magic convention, and some, you know, soy boy leftist rainbow head like took a swing at him, like tried to beat him up in a bar or something. And I'm like, oh, don't do that, because then he gets to talk about it for the next 2 years about how I'm a victim of the left. Give me money. I'm the only one standing against these guys. I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, good grift. And then he makes. If you ever want to see like true, I mean, at this point, if you go to the Courtney's channel and you search for Bud Light, you're gonna get literally, I think, 200 videos. If you search for Brie Larson,
oh my god, did he obsess over that when people were going into the supermarket and just like destroying those cans?
Bro, like, can you like literally just? This is all he does is make the same video over and over and over again.
Think of the most conservatoid retard meme you could possibly imagine. That's the quartering in the flesh now. After
do you have the ability to? Do you have the ability to show screen or like to show?
I can show screen, or I can show. You want to show screen?
I'm just gonna DM you this link. Just bring this up and scroll it on screen real quick.
I know who the quartering
searching
is.
Bud Light on his channel, because I can do that too.
Yeah, if you know how to get to that.
This is the guy who's like, I'm gonna pee in my basement, and then he peed in his basement.
It's just like, how fucking brain dead is the average like conservative media?
I want to look at the views. 340. I mean, he must have fallen off, right? I know his name. He must have been huge before, right? I guess he must have posted a lot of videos too.
He posts like 3 videos a day.
Okay, so these are really good views for posting that often.
He's doing fine. He's making he's making at least $1 million a year, being the most retarded person I've ever encountered.
That's poison in my soul to hear that. Okay.
what you can't do
He's
anything
just
about
a
it.
genuinely bad human being.
All of these people, not only are they genuinely bad, but they're genuinely like brain dead. But here's the thing: is like being brain dead is a valuable skill in the YouTube ecosystem because it means you can form the exact same opinion about everything and just regurgitate it endlessly. So
and that's
smart,
the best way to do it, right? Because once
Yeah.
you find a niche that's working, like if you exploit that niche, that's literally how you explode in growth on YouTube.
Right. So my channel's fucked because every time something comes up, I go like, oh, well, I actually have like a nuanced take I got to think about. But if I was a guy like Quartering or Yellow Flash, I could just go on and go, well, this is just part of the leftist pedo agenda to turn your kids gay. And as we all see, and they're trying to take away, they want white men to be replaced. Obviously, we all know this. And they can just say that over and over, and they never have to think. Having a brain is like, oh God, I can't make money as easily as these morons. I wish I could. I wish I was dumber, or I wish I could lie. That's my problem. Is like I've tried making all this fucking news, these daily news shit stories. I'm like, I can't lie. Gina Carano's the dumbest woman who ever lived, and people are like, what? She was silenced by Disney. I'm like, no, she's a dumb lady who insulted trans people, and they fired her because of it, and she deserves it because she's retarded. I lost like
I think
500...
oh, what's her name? Is it Adam and Sitch? I think Adam and Sitch brought your video up and had a problem with your take. Have you talked to them at all?
On Gina Carano?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God.
I don't know if they brought up your video for sure. I do feel like they referenced it though.
Well, okay, well, good, because I'm right. She has no case. How could she?
I don't know. I think Adam agrees with you on that. I'm pretty sure there is no case, but his opinion is there's no
Elon
case,
is
but it's just
involved.
the discovery would screw them.
It's also the fact that Elon is involved that people are like, oh, there might be something because there's still huge Elon fucking simps in the world.
Okay, but if the lawsuit is just a game to get to the discovery process, which why do I have to pretend? My issue is the people going, yeah, Gina Carano has a shot of winning this thing. I'm like, no, she doesn't. She went
I don't
out.
think so.
A bunch of trans people were like, hey, can you put your pronouns in the bio? It would really like be important to us in our community. And she said, my pronouns are robot noises. And she got fired. She's like, I don't get why I'm fired. It's like, well, you pissed off all those trans people.
Do you have an
She's
ethical clause in her contract?
It doesn't
No.
matter.
She didn't have a contract.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, she wasn't contracted.
She had some sort of
contract.
contract.
Well, no, she was contracted for the previous season, and when she was going to do her contract for the next season was when this happened, I think.
So they didn't re-up her contract. Her contract.
They
had
didn't
already
re-up,
expired.
but they also had a whole series planned with her, and like she has a ton of evidence for that.
Yeah, no, they announced that show, and then they told her, like, dude, there's like a news article about the exact things that went down, and it's basically like even what's his fucking name, Jon Favreau, like, was calling her and shit, and he's like, listen, we don't want to fire you, okay? Like, you pissed a bunch of people off. And Disney told her, they're like, can you just do this thing? There's a bunch of gay employees. We have like 42 gay employees who want to have a Zoom call with you.
Okay, that was weird though. I would feel super weird getting told to go talk to every gay employee or trans employee at the company. That was bizarre.
Yeah, that sucks. Just do it.
It'd be weird for the gay
Let me ask you, okay, let me ask you this.
too, right?
Yeah, would that be awkward and weird? Yes.
I mean, for $100 and whatever $1,000 an episode,
would you do it for
probably
$500,000? Would you sit down with some gay people and let them lecture you for a little bit? Yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd go, you're right. It is. You're right. Being trans is the hardest thing in the world. Absolutely, I agree. 100%. I can't believe it.
Dude, I couldn't believe how little money she made. She made like no money from the first seasons.
$25K an episode is not terrible, though. I'd be happy with $25K an episode. It's not like it's her show.
It's not her show, but I would have thought she got paid more than that. She was like a recurring character. I don't know.
She wasn't an important recurring character, though.
Whatever.
Not even a good show.
For an episode of a TV show, I think that's perfectly reasonable. And they're trying to make all that Disney shit plus on.
Did she have anything going for it before that?
No,
she was a WWE fighter, a UFC fighter, or something. I don't know.
She was retired though. She wasn't doing that. she was in some action movie, and it was like cool. It's whatever. But like, let's be real. She's not an A-lister. You've never seen Gina Carano on a poster, said I got to see the new Gina Carano movie.
She's no Taylor Swift.
No, she was like building.
No Taylor Swift.
She was building up her shit, and when you're okay, that's the other thing is everyone goes, well, it's hypocritical because they didn't fire Pedro Pascal for being political. I'm like, yeah, because he's Pedro Pascal. They're like, well, that's hypocritical.
Is literally about him.
Yeah. That's hypocritical. Oh man, Hollywood's hypocritical. I can't fucking believe it. What a fucking. You mean the top billed star gets away with worse behavior?
No, but this happens in every workplace. It's not even just Hollywood. Like if your top salesperson does something fucked up and they sell 10 times more than any other salesperson, yeah, it's like I don't care. Did you break the law?
1000% true. Our top salesman at my last job threw his desk down the stairs, 3 flights of stairs, because he didn't like it in like a shared office environment, and everybody just had to pretend like it didn't happen.
I mean, Drazi, you've got a bad history with talking about your work experience online, though, really, haven't you? I don't know if we should be listening to your professional advice right now. Didn't you release a woman's phone number who was interviewing for a job at one point?
I accidentally released a company phone number.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally? What are we talking about now?
Oh, Drazi had just a meeting. Listen, guys, my chat is revolting. Okay, they want to hear Drazi's take on Vaush.
Yeah, I have no idea why. Sorry, I was about to redirect to that, Kuihman. Yeah, that is why you're here, Drazi. We want to hear somebody defend Vaush, and you were recommended to me.
Oh, that's so funny. Like I wouldn't say that I'm defending him. I literally made a website, goblinshortstack.com, with all the stupid shit that he said on there. Like ultimately, I don't really care what if nobody's hurt in like what people are like jacking to or fantasizing to. Like I don't really give a shit. I don't have to do it. If they're gonna make me do it, then I'm gonna care. But like I don't really give a shit. However, considering the positions that he's had and the response that he's had to it, I think that.
Oh, guys, that was such a failure. This is such a failure. Like, this is so fucked.
In and of itself, I just don't care. It's not going to keep me up at night knowing that somebody has fantasies that I would be bothered to have to be involved in.
Wait, you don't think it's weird that he shamed and canceled the call with MrGirl and like got all in his grill for like that exact thing?
There's tons of criticizable things about it. I just don't care. Like if that, I just don't care about that part of it. Yeah, obviously, hugely hypocritical.
Now, if Vaush told you, "Hey, I've just purchased a horse," how would you react to that news?
I mean, I feel like that would be a happy horse.
I think the only thing more concerning that Vaush could say to me is that he just purchased a cobalt minor child.
So, Drazi, do you think interest in Lolly is indicative of interest in real children, or?
I haven't seen anything to suggest that, and I would think that we would have something to show that by now. But like, I'm sure there's like, let me put it this way: I'm sure there's a correlatory overlap, but I don't think that one necessarily would like play into the other.
We can go more specific.
I would guess that you're gonna have a really big overlap with like weebs and that shit, even if they have no interest in children. So I'm not
Look,
like freaked out about it. But if
we
they're
can
doing
get a
that
lot
with, like,
more
a bunch of other
specific.
sussy shit,
Oh my.
then I would be pretty concerned.
We can get a lot more specific.
Oh, go ahead. Go.
Because Vaush said that there are some relationships between an old person and a young child that could be beneficial to the young child. Would you agree with that or disagree, ElderDrazi?
I'm assuming that he's talking about sexual relationships, given the context here.
Yes.
No, that's fucking crazy.
Okay, then you must be a different person. I swear I saw a panel with people debating this with like was it Wix with Brittany
age gap
Slyman?
relationships, which is not the same as an adult and a child.
What the? What? Okay, explain the difference.
Between two legally able to consent adults and an adult and a child, you need me to explain to you what the difference between those two things are? I think there's maybe another red flag popping up here then.
No, then I'm maybe just muddying up what that debate panel was, because I swear both of these things were part of the topic.
I've only ever been on a panel remotely in this vicinity about age gap relationships. These were age gaps of like adults. There was no suggested to be like illegal relationships happening there. I would condemn that.
I shouldn't go off my memory. I'll just go back and make sure. But you're saying that you would have a problem with it. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just also real quick, there's another Vaush quote from his MrGirl talk, I believe. I should actually see if it's the one right here. But he essentially says that like he'd be very concerned about somebody who consumes lolly regularly and like about their attraction to kids, like that it would be indicative. He thinks it would be indicative.
This is probably I would say that this is probably just like heavy projection. I think that it's I don't know if it's sort of to convince himself that he's not doing anything wrong with that, because that's what he thinks. He has a lot of red flags, absolutely, and Vaush is super sussy. I just think that like if he's looking at like upsetting cartoon images, like in and of itself, that I don't care about. But if you put it with other stuff, like yeah, maybe don't let him be your babysitter. Probably a bad idea.
I think in an ideal communist utopia, Vaush would have sex with a underage. Well, they wouldn't be underage in his.
He's
utopia.
argued for the age of consent not existing, right? Yeah.
He said, yeah. He said, well, once all of societal problems are solved, surely we can begin having sex with children. And I think he did have to walk that one back. You're like, well, Vaush, I don't know about that.
Back, yeah.
I don't know.
I think that it's
I don't know
really
about that,
wild.
sir.
Like people like food shops will get thrown into the fucking volcano for just saying that they watch a lot. I guess they said some other stuff too that made it like not as like made it
pretty fucked up.
But
yeah.
like but Vaush, I think, has been significantly worse in totality on the subject, and
not in the shit you said. Not in our suspect. No.
I think the whole point that food shops made about how the power dynamic thing and like the exploitation of like was it exploitation of innocence, exploitation of like power dynamics,
and claimed to have had like it prescribed for her POCD as well, which is like blatantly untrue.
I would say that's
insane.
We just did they walk that back?
But no, that's what they claim. They claim that they just say they worded it poorly. That's what they said about that.
Did they fix it though?
What do you mean?
Well, like they said they worded it poorly, but did they like?
No, they didn't say anything.
Reword it correctly.
No.
Then?
It was still just like my therapist told me to look at Lolly. That was still what the sentiment was. Which
oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, Drazi,
well, I still think in totality, Vaush is worse because he says if you watch Lolly a lot, he basically says he thinks that you're a pedophile, and then it seems like he's engaging with Lolly, and I think that like at least I think there's room in what Food Shop said to say that like you can watch Lolly and you don't have to be a pedophile. So like Vaush is sort of like signing his own pedo certificate by his own standards.
I don't know why they said that you would defend Vaush.
I'm defending the thing, I guess. Like that. Well, I'm not even defending. I'm just saying, like, I just don't care. Like, it's not something like that I'm into. But like, I'm not really that worried about like people's sexual stuff that isn't hurting anybody that like I don't have to be a part of. Like, for all I know, it could be helping them vent that out in like a better way than they would otherwise have. I don't know, but I haven't seen anything to suggest that it's going to lead to more predation. So, like, I just don't
so we're
care.
saying a whole bunch of
really
nothing. Why am I listening to how much you don't care?
What's that? Because people seem to care a lot. When it's
I'd like to listen to somebody who cares about something.
We need a full-throated pro-lolly defender to come in here. That's what we really need right now.
Well,
I care about
I don't know
people
about that.
Wait, Drazi.
You have that part too seriously.
What do you think of this? Okay, let me put a hypothetical to you. Guy's about 27, 28, meets a girl 11 years younger than him. He employs her at a workplace. She's 16, 17. She gets to 18. They've lost contact for a few months. And then they reconnect and they start dating. What do you think of that hypothetical? Do you think there's anything wrong going on there? Or
I think I'd have to see like the actual situation because I've seen some really fucking wild shit like that. There's a guy that like he ended up dating his ex-girlfriend's kid after they turned 18, and I was like, you're fucking gross. Like that's probably like one of the most grossed out I've ever been about somebody's relationship in my life. So but what you just described there, I don't know. It could be really weird. It could be fine by my standards. I just think that I would have to see like I'd have to know like more personal information than that to like really decide how much I care. But I'd say like it's weird. Like you said that they were their boss too, right?
Yeah, they started as their boss when they were like 16, 17.
There's a lot of red flags there, and I think that I would need a considerable amount of information to be like, all right, but like, just don't do that anymore. Like, what the fuck? I still think that I would never like love that scenario, but there might be some information that I could be like, all right, yeah, I guess it's not a big, but probably shouldn't do stuff like that in general. It seems like a recipe for abuse.
Now you know how there's those horse breeders who have to jerk off horses to obtain their semen to
Don't they
propagate
put their
connection?
hand up their ass to make them come? Or is
Do
that
they
just
milk,
cows?
Do they milk the prostate? I'm not sure.
I don't
would
know.
it be
I know about
okay-
one of those.
Would it be okay for someone like Vaush to have that job? Like, maybe he'd be really good at it.
I think it'd be okay.
Is it okay to be a professional horse jacker offer, knowing that you kind of like, if you have a boner the whole time, or is that like?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know
I
what's
think that would
better.
be
Is it
fine.
somebody who absolutely fucking hates that, and they're like, "I hate my job. I have no other options. I have to
Yeah.
go jack this fucking."
No, I
horse
think
dick
it's
off
fine.
again. I hate this, or the person who likes it. Probably.
I
The
don't want to go
person
down the whole
that likes
vegan
it.
argument train, but yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's
I think
overall
it's.
fine.
I think it's just, yeah. It's
Wait,
good
you think it's
for-
not vegan for people to manually masturbate? a
Oh,
horse
this is a
for
lolly defender,
their
isn't it? For sure.
breeding?
It's
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be.
No, this is a lolly defender.
Let's go.
This is our lolly.
Oh my
defender.
God, you're
Smell
right.
it
There
on you.
were
I can
some in
smell it on
DGG.
you. They're everywhere.
Who is it?
It's the
I
internet.
can't read names if I have OBS.
Metalloid Sword. It's a guy from, unfortunately, from DGG. But
You mean
this doesn't mean
unfortunately?
anything. This literally means nothing.
Wait, what accent was that?
Hello?
He's
Yeah, they're not all.
Oh, brother.
I get fucked, loser.
Oh,
He's one
brother.
of yours. He's one of yours.
Okay, this
Listen,
is making more
there's pedophiles
sense.
in all walks of life, okay?
Hello, Metaloid.
Yeah, I was told I was going to defend it. So what's the
Yeah.
what am I defending? Like what's
Do
the
you-
what's the against arguments?
The against arguments would be, I suppose, something like, well, Kuihman wanted you here, so he'll think of some questions too. But I'm guessing that we'd have a lot of concern that consuming lolly would lead to a desire to actually.
What do you
sexually
look? What
interact
traits
with
do you look
children.
for in a lolly? Like, what
Oh.
is the most important
Now,
thing?
Vito's
All right, let's
spitting,
just
yeah.
meme, I guess. Let's just meme, I guess.
Well, the
No,
most
it's not
important trait is
memeing.
that they're actually 5,000 years old, correct? This is like crucial.
Does that
Well,
matter to you, Metalloid Sword? Do you
No,
need
I'm
the
curious about the
H code?
mindset. I am curious.
I'm here for full on debate. All right, if you want to meme, you can meme.
Is it the
I'm not
innocence?
memeing.
Is it the attitude?
Okay. Can you try and explain to us then? Give us a case.
Okay, so the best argument, right? I remember we've had this so many times back in like 2018, 19. And what would always happen was the people against would bring up how it always falls back on they look like children, so that must lead to the people doing it like children. Now, you can sometimes infer that, but like it's hard to do that with the data that it's like coincided around it. So if we for example, let's
You
look
mean
at
the
something.
data where people are gonna lie?
No, not that data. There is no data on lolly porn. That was one of the big like things as well, because people were like, oh no, like how
Yeah,
do we
who
know if
would
it
tell
helps
the truth?
No, not that. There is based on sexual data. So people who, for example, consume porn online, we know that people consume porn that they would never ever in their life want to do in real life, like getting raped, like gangbang, stuff like that. They consume the unrealistic, wildly outlandish porn, and they get off to it. All right. So we know for a fact that people consume porn that is completely disconnected from their real life, actual erotic like actions. They will not act on these things in real life, and they will not like it. We know that. So that works very badly into the idea that people like children, so they look at lolly porn. I think the best like example or like explanation of it is that people who watch lolly porn, watch it or not watch, but like read or watch, do it because it is extremely disconnected from reality. If you actually like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like.
So I need to stop you really quickly before you move on to anything else.
okay.
I would posit that the acts, like the sexual acts and the attractiveness of a person, are almost completely disjoint. That you think about doing the actions you like with a person
Okay,
you
but what
find
about the
attractive,
looks
and those
then?
two things are different.
What about the
I'm
looks?
saying I'm saying attractiveness, the looks, are almost always very disjoint. Like very often very disjoint from the acts you want to do with a person. So the things that you're talking about, the extreme acts, I don't know how that ties into the
Okay, but
attractiveness of the person.
people jerk off to getting fucked by a massive fucking ogre.
Yeah, but
Who
why
are
are you
these
saying they
people?
would never want to do that?
No. Okay, I'm not even going to
Your
defend that. But like,
argument-
it's like
hold on.
because
Your
people,
argument-
because it's the same with bestiality. People get off getting fucked by a fursuit guy, but they won't actually go get fucked by a horse. Like it's completely different.
Some people
some people
that's
it's
a
not
weird
the
context
it's not like a
considering we just talked
factual
about Vaush.
like basis.
Well,
like,
just
some
let Vito
people-
respond to you.
Well, I'm assuming that was his response. That some people do.
Well, hold on. I mean, you do have to admit that some of the reasons people don't execute on their sexual fantasies is not because they don't want to. It's because doing so is cost prohibitive or dangerous.
No, yeah, 100%. But we're
Yeah.
talking about when people say lolly porn is like pedophilia, that is a lot more like broad and hits the whole field rather than some people that watch lolly porn are actually pedophiles who use it to get rid of their like itch, and the rest, i.e. the large majority, as you would in some case like getting fucked by a horse, don't actually want to get fucked by a horse or aren't pedophiles.
Right.
I think
But if I look,
reason for
if you
somebody
gave
to
me,
watch it,
if you gave
they
me
don't like it.
2 people and you told me one of them's into lolly, and then you asked me to guess which one of them it has a better chance of being a pedophile, it'd probably be right for me to choose the guy who's into lolly, right?
I mean, that's what you would. I would personally.
What's the other category?
Personally, I wouldn't think it because I don't base like someone's. If you, this is my thing. Like,
You think it's so disconnected that it would be a
because if you,
it's
a hypercoat. If you, okay, I'm gonna say something here. If you have ever seen any like child porn like depicted
I haven't.
scenes,
Have you?
No. If you have seen child porn depicted scenes in movies, like or TV series,
all
they
right.
are completely revolting. I have never seen child porn
I
in
still
my
haven't
life
watched Cuties, no.
whatsoever. But I can imagine that it is a lot more disgusting and completely revolting than lolly porn. I would never in my life want to compare those things. Like,
it's like I think it got blown up a lot. It's not. It's just like a bad movie. I watched it on stream once to like see.
You talking about
if
Cuties?
Yeah, I watched it
No,
on stream with
I'm
a heart
just-
rate monitor on to see if
I'm
what
just
Mr.
memeing.
Girl said was true. And the only time my heart rate spiked was when this like Muslim woman had like her fat ass on the camera, and I got caught getting excited.
Well, I don't know
But
what's
I
happening
think that
right
movie
now.
was. I think there's like an adult titty in it too. But like I just think it's. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I'm
Because
a
you
father
wrote
and
down
you just
all
see
of the
kids acting
weird
like
parts
that
of the
sometimes.
movie.
What's that?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
I had a heart
I
rate
have
monitor
not
on, just
seen,
kind of for the memes, but also to like
Yeah, it was a good. That's a good meme.
I thought it was funny.
Did you stream you
but also-
watching it?
I couldn't stream the movie because it's
Right.
copyrighted, but I streamed me watching the movie, and I had like a watch party in my Discord. And then I called
The
Mr.
don't
Girl
get a
out, and I
boner
was like, that wasn't
challenge.
exciting at all.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that you said in your review, like nah. And I like, and the heart rate monitor was to like add either condemnation or validity to my claim afterwards.
All right, so we're
Can
saying
I,
most.
hold on. I
most
just have to know how that's
lolicon-
connected to the argument so far. I just have to
I
ask.
don't know what's happening.
I have a question for your hypothetical though, Vito. You said if one person's watching
Okay, or
Lolly,
not.
I'm gonna assume that they're more of a pedo than the other person. But what's the other category you're comparing against? Like, I feel like if somebody like watches a ton of young old, where it's like barely legal, and like old people, like 60-year-old men and like 18 to 20-year-olds, that would probably make me feel a bit more inclined.
So you're saying there's stuff that's more pedophilic than lolly porn?
They would raise a bigger red flag to me, yeah. Like, because like if the person's just like a really big weeb, like they might end up down that path. But like I think that like if you're watching like a ton of young old stuff, that's probably that's pretty weird to me.
Look, I'll say, if somebody tells me they're into lolly, I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, it's the old thing of, well, please don't babysit my kids, but whatever floats your boat, as long as it's all drawings, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I think that's reasonable.
But would you guys push back against though? Can like the example I gave though, like people compare or say they're in the same group, lolly porn and child porn. Like if you actually think
not at all.
about child porn, it's like I can't believe people genuinely put these in the same basket. It's insane. I've never even seen it, but I'm just imagining it as disgusting. Like
I think it's insane.
It's a
though.
How's it
drawing.
insane if
No.
you don't know?
It's a drawing of a
yeah,
completely
I
unrealistic
don't-
woman compared to a real life
Not
like child.
completely unrealistic.
It
I mean,
is. Have you?
They got 2 arms, 2 legs.
No.
They got
Yeah, this is
human
just a
body
cope.
parts.
It's not cope. That's it.
The watching
It's
is
hyper
the
cope
Wait,
right
watching
now.
of
are
the
you
two
saying?
things
Are you saying
completely
that? Like, are
disjointed
you
from
saying
each
that?
other.
Like hentai porn that is like of horses is the same of real life horses?
Okay, but it seems like people who consume anime porn of grown women also want to fuck grown adult women.
This
Like,
might help.
But
This
that's
might help.
not-
Wait.
Wait.
can help.
That is completely different. Like there are like
You don't think the same attraction as to you don't
They're
think your
absolutely
attraction to a
adjacent.
human woman is
Yeah, Metaloid.
that's-
What?
your
that-
attraction to an anime woman?
Yeah, no, that's true, but that's like not a counterpoint. That's like saying, oh, there are people that go outside that also do another thing that is like everyone does. Like it's a correlation.
a
Like if
little
someone's
vague.
straight, they're going to consume straight hentai most likely, right? But that doesn't mean
Sure.
that like a horse
proves
in
the
real
connection at a loose level immediately.
Yeah, like what traits are you attracted to in the lolly, Metaloid? Like, what are we talking about here?
That was what I asked.
Small frames.
I was
you know.
memeing.
Personally,
no, but it's not,
right,
is it at all? It's.
I don't think about it much. I just go, okay, like for example, a lot of the like only male stuff is like between like they do like this androgynous like shit where they're like really between the ages because a lot of them will capture the like I don't know 12 to like 16 age by like making the kid like 18 but then having them look younger and then putting a huge dick on them. But like I
Okay.
never think about, oh wow, I
But-
love that this guy's immature.
Okay, but pedophiles will literally talk about like the perfect hermaphroditic state of a child, like it's in like some Namble documentary. Or
Yeah, that's
something
one of the
random
other
about
things
that.
as well.
Like
Pedophiles will,
that's-
like comparing like
But
a
that's what you
lolly
just
porn-
said. That's like what you said. It was about the
Yeah, but
androgyny and
No. What I'm saying they make it androgynous because it appeals to people. Like the idea of that, like
appeals
they're
to
not
who?
The idea of they're like super feminine. They don't have any puberty like aspects. They're like they look like a female, but they're a male.
All right, hold on. I feel like there's a lot of energy here. Let's bring it down. We're having a reasonable
I'm
discussion.
fine. This is just me.
Are we having a reasonable discussion?
Let's not get too out of control.
This is just how Metaloid is. He just gets heated.
I know.
I'm not heated. This is just how I am.
Yeah, I'm saying it seems heated. Okay, I apologize. I called you heated.
I'm not
Holy
angry
shit.
at all.
Holy shit, Metaloid.
We'll just stick the break bros of content. Okay, just let him
Yeah.
let him spit his shit.
Saying, let's let it breathe. Everybody breathe. Okay. So my question for you, Metaloid, would be: okay, I have a picture of an adult-looking anime lady, and then I have a lolly picture. I would assume your preference is lolly, yes?
No. I didn't come on here because I like only consume lolly. I mostly consume like normal porn, like trans women and then normal women. And then
What's
trans
normal?
ones.
Give us the
You're
categories.
saying normal like
so we can
like
judge you.
Oh, I meant
like
like normal as in
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
real
I'm just
life
kidding.
porn.
real life porn is
Yeah.
normally what you consume.
I just came on to defend it because the comparison to pedophilia in my head is like whack, like it's disgusting. That people
So to you, lolly is just one of many art forms.
Yeah, it's just if I see it and it's a good like most of the time when you're reading, a lot of people don't get this, but a lot of the time when you're reading doujinshi, it's like mostly for the story. So if there's a good story and it's lolly, it's like okay, sure, it's fine.
It's mostly for the story.
There's a lot of really good manga out there. I don't know if you have to. I think that you probably have to.
You're saying for
like
the sexual
lolly to go
nature of
there.
the story.
I mean, if it's just
enjoyable.
like if it's just like 10 slides of like sex, it's a lot worse than like a story around it.
Yeah. I don't know if you're a good representative of the lolly community though. If it's just like one of many.
That's most of the people that watch lolly though. They don't like. They're not only watching lolly.
Okay, but I don't think this idea that because there's a story like a romance plot around it that makes it better or
No,
less.
I never said that. No, I never
I mean,
said
well,
that.
okay,
Didn't say
well, that's what it sounded like you just said was that you were interested in the story.
I was saying that's my preference. That is, I don't watch it purely because it's like I don't go on there and search lolly. I don't think I've ever even done that actually. It's mostly because they're on the same like tags as like femboy or where it'll be males, and then you'd have like I don't know, fucking massive dick or some shit like that.
Yeah, I only read Playboy
Wait, if
for the
you're
articles,
watching it
right?
for the story, then you're not like jacking it to it. You're just like
No,
No,
because
you
the
are.
story is hot.
Yeah,
He's saying he
you're
likes the
definitely
narrative
out of it.
aspect.
Yeah, like there's loads of stuff like that.
Just seeing a picture is not as exciting as a guy
Have you
saying,
never,
"I'm
like-
gonna fuck you with this horse cock."
Have
Like,
you
that's
never
what you're
like
there
thought
for.
about like how females like jerk off to smut porn? Like that's also a huge thing.
What's
Sure.
smut?
Smut? Wait, you don't know what smut is?
What's
Erotica.
smut?
Cherry.
I don't-
I don't know if that's a
with
joke
a
or not.
T.
No, it's not a joke.
It's
Oh, that's
erotica.
like it's like a very erotic, like in-depth, like intricate, like sex in words. books. Yeah.
Smudge.
It's a very big. It's a very big thing.
Okay,
around
no one's actually. Never mind. I'm not going to comment on that.
All right. All right. So you're reading these Dojin. They got a great story, great narrative, character arcs, and at the end of the day, you would say it's just normal.
This doesn't really pertain though to like the idea of it.
Just
because like the core thing that people say is they look like children, right? And then that leads to you being a pedophile because if you like it, then you're like
okay. You're loading like that because I don't know if people necessarily say it. You're saying like it causes you to become a pedophile.
No. I don't mean that. I mean as in if you watch it, you're most likely to be a pedophile because you are going towards to consume specifically content that is of lower younger children, right? That's the idea. Is that those two like correlate. And because of that, it's a pedophile content.
Yeah,
right?
it's like not a strong correlation, but there's a correlation.
It shows that you're comfortable with fantasizing about
like
sex
an
with
idea?
kids.
Like, what's the? Because in my opinion, right, it's like less than 1%. Like it's like 0.5% at the most.
0.5% what
of
like, out
lolicons
of all the people that consume lolliporn, and it's not like. Oh, I just saw it. Like someone showed me on their phone once. Like I'm saying.
Can I ask what you're basing the stats on?
Yeah,
hold on. I don't even know what he's saying.
There is no.
Hold on.
Hold on. Go cook.
I want an answer.
Cooking, Metaloid.
0.5% of them go on to do what?
Like they have a pedophile like pedophilia.
Yeah, what
you're saying?
Define pedophilia for us first.
Hold on. So less than 1% of the people who consume lolly pornography have any interest in actual children. That is your contention.
If you showed,
I disagree with that.
90% of the people that like I know that have consumed like lolly porn, if you show them like an actual like below 13-year-old, like 12-year-old, it's not even comparable. Like,
why do you know that?
I don't even.
Yeah, but you don't know what's in their heart, man. When they go, yeah, I think kids are gross.
Why would they lie?
What?
I can't think of any reason at all. Pedophiles are generally thought of.
To you that makes sense, but to me, like I'm thinking in my head, we talk about the most degenerate shit ever, like by like Vaush and shit. Like, sorry, this doesn't make much of a difference. But
well,
yeah,
dude, nobody's getting shanked in prison for liking Vaush.
It's a good thing no pedophile ever lied about being a pedophile. It's made things so much easier.
No one's ever had Vaush carved into their head.
But they hate lying, these people. They hate it.
If you want to abuse children, you have to tell me, otherwise it's illegal.
Exactly.
What did you call it, Dogen? I don't know what that is.
Doujinshi is the proper like word to describe like a porn, not like manga.
It's a comic book.
Okay, this is ableist.
Okay.
This is ableist. I have ADHD. I can like barely read. I don't know how anybody is
Japanese
reading and getting off.
And everybody has
I do it.
That's impossible.
Loads of
also, he talks to a lot of people about it. Apparently, he's got a representative sample.
If you go online in any space, you're gonna find someone that watches hentai. Okay, it's not that hard. You just found one.
That's facts.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah, but I don't find the ones who read hentai. Like,
no, they're all reading it too.
If you go into DGG chat right now, you can find 200.
Oh no! Stop talking.
That's
what
facts.
are you doing?
Facts. He's spent.
I consume.
I can't agree with the pedophile right now.
Bro, I bet you,
I have consumed
like, most of the people, there's probably loads of people in your chat that watches hentai and gets off to it, okay? Don't fucking virtue post like there's hardly any people that you can find on the internet, okay?
Well, I don't think anyone's doing that. Obviously, look, I'm a hentai enthusiast. All anime women deserve less. And,
you have to concede. If you watch a lot of hentai, you're inadvertently going to run into some lolly. That's like pretty much why I stopped like even trying to find hentai on any hentai sites. Like
you're saying, really, like lolly's gonna pop up in the search or something?
Yeah, because like if I'm cycling through porn categories, like I end up with hentai sometimes, and I just be like, this is weird. I don't want to look at this video, like and like try to figure out. Like I don't want to wonder. It's like goofy to me. So like I just end up like avoiding hentai.
Well, I'm not a category guy. I go to X hentai and I type in Chun-Li, and then you know what I get? I get Chun-Li.
But do you concede that if you're watching a lot of hentai, you're gonna inadvertently run into lolly, whether you want to or not?
I'm sure it'll pop.
And like I'm not condemning
up in the chat.
I can concede
into it.
But again, that's why again I'm not like super bothered by it because you go, okay, well I don't want to see that. That's gross, and you just click off it.
Yeah, I'm
it's
not even
the
saying
same
nothing
as
bad about you. Just trying to keep it.
I mean,
real
that's
here.
all. It's also look if you've been on the internet long enough, especially like back in the days of 4chan, people would post like actual CP on like the random board, and you'd go Jesus fucking Christ and click away. So yeah, if you're on the internet in the wrong places, you're gonna see some shit you don't want to see.
Did somebody earlier say that watching Lolly hentai and somebody watching CP are like akin to the same thing? Because I think that the desire to see those two images have to be like wholly something different.
What, like a
No,
real human?
I don't think they're
and a
wholly
picture?
different.
Yeah,
I
it's
think they're
completely
wholly
different.
different.
If you look at any like actual
No.
studies on pedophilia as
Oh.
well, I know this because you haven't just you've never looked at any of this. You're just making a huge assumption. If you look
Yep.
at studies on actual like pedophiles, there's a huge irrational desire to fuck the actual child. They are unavoidably attracted to it.
Where are these studies?
This was a while ago. If you actually go back to like 2019-18, there was like a DGG debate for like months. People would come on and genuinely debate this with Destiny, and like he was on the side that like Lolicon isn't like pedophilia like they were saying. But like
I'm not saying that the desire is anywhere near as strong. I'm saying there's a correlation.
No. I'm saying even the correlation isn't there. You can't like in any good faith way say that, and if you know anything about it, you're just saying, "Oh, child."
I can in a good faith way say that. We already agreed that if you're a straight person,
I said in a good,
you're probably
good
going to
faith
look
way
at
if you know anything about the actual
porn.
data. I didn't say like.
I think
hold
you're
on,
misunderstanding the hypothetical.
What
I'm
data
saying
are you
that they are
talking about?
wholly different. The drive to look. If somebody holds up their phone to like fuck with you and they show you a picture of like lolly hentai, you might not like it, but you're gonna have a wholly different reaction if somebody holds up their phone, they have
obviously,
CP
but
on it.
that has
Like, I'm
nothing
gonna
to
beat
do with
somebody's
any
ass if they
attraction.
show me
There's
the ladder.
absolutely nothing to do with the attraction.
And if they
Morally,
hold up
obviously,
Lolly, I'm
drawing
like,
a picture of a child is so different, is completely different from taking naked pictures or creating child porn. Of course,
the
those
reaction that anybody is going to have to seeing those two images, I think, is going to invoke completely different kinds
because
of
of the like moral weight of looking at child porn. Obviously,
No,
like, you've
that
harmed
is
a
so
child.
dumb.
I think there's something even beyond that.
No.
I think there's just something. You're just gonna have like a naturalistic instinct to either be like extremely angry or like not. And I think that if
you guys
you're
are
on the
talking
other
about
side of it,
something
you're gonna be
completely
extremely
different.
into it. Or
You guys are
you're-
talking about something completely
if you were in a
different.
void, right, you have to be so up your own ass to say that a person in a void with no cultural understanding would say that looking at like child porn, like an actual child that looks like them, and a picture of like a completely unrealistic like lolly is the
Yeah,
same
you guys
thing.
aren't
That's
understanding
insane.
what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that if a person were a pedophile, they would obviously be more likely to consume lolly.
Yeah,
than
but I'm
any
talking
other,
about
like,
the
hentai
moral
genre.
weight thing you said.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm saying the drive to look at one of these things and the other of these things comes from a different place. If there's somebody who is a pedophile and they're using lolly, I'm sure that they're not really getting the thing that they're looking for, but they're just sort of like very, very actively substituting it or something. I don't really know how much mental work they have to do to get what they need out of it. But I'm just saying, I think that everybody, whether you're pedophilic or not, that you're going to have vastly different reactions immediately to seeing those two different kinds of images. I think it's just
obviously the real
thing
thing versus the drawn thing. Like sorry, I said the moral weight. I meant like the realness of it, like the fact that it actually happened to somebody. The fact that it's real is the differing factor. It's not.
But that's what I'm trying to get across when I say like the distinction.
Yeah, all I'm disagreeing with you on is that they're completely disjoint.
Wait,
I don't think they're completely disjoint.
If you're a pedophile, I think you
you said they're completely disjoint. You've said multiple times they're completely disjoint.
Okay, when I said that, I was coming from the idea that you were saying that like there was a hard correlation there.
No, I said from the very beginning is a very soft correlation, but there is a correlation. I was annoyed by you saying they're completely disjoint. What's soft? I don't know. It's just more than zero.
Okay, that is wildly out of what I thought. In my eye, I was thinking you were going to say like if someone watches lolly porn, they are 25% chance of being a pedo.
You literally said when Vito asked you asked if somebody likes lolly or doesn't like lolly, are they more or less likely to be a pedophile? You said you have no way of deciding. Yeah, I said Vito said it.
Why do I get a fake answer?
I know you were saying that. I'm just saying when you gave your soft, I didn't assume that you had the same opinion as Vito.
Sure, but you answered Vito's question that there was no way to tell, that the lolly thing was not indicative at all, 0%.
Yeah.
So you were saying completely disjoint.
But now you're saying less than 1%.
Wait, whoa, you're coming. Both your what?
I give you two random people, and I tell you one of them is into lolly porn.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you,
yeah,
you win $1 million if you figure out who the pedophile is. Which one do you pick?
If you had two people, I would
still
say
not say
the passing
other
lot is
person's
lolly porn.
porn
That's
preferences.
obvious.
Okay.
You pick the person who's into lolly
Because
porn.
that's like saying if you know nothing about two people but one thing that points you in one direction, even if it's infinitesimally small, you always pick that one because it's 1 point towards the objective.
Yes, you have correctly figured out the hypothetical scenario.
You're not getting any information about the other
say
person.
it because they're like
you don't need a
high
butt.
chance. You know what I mean? Like that's what I came on.
You don't even need that butt. It's fine.
Okay, that was where all of my confusion came from. Was where you were saying they're completely disjoint.
That they're probably
well, yeah, because I came on thinking that there was a Kuihman was saying that you're a pedophile if you watch lolly porn, and everyone, no one just like.
I don't even think that. I don't think.
No, it's only like a 50-50 chance you're a pedophile.
Do you guys think that there's a reason that somebody might watch lolly that has nothing to do with like an attraction to children? Because there's like at least two off the top of my head. If they just like watched hentai when that was like their first exposure to porn, and it happened to be lolly, that just might be the thing that they like sort of explore their sexuality with, and it has no mapping onto real humans. Or if they just like the oh man, I said it a bunch earlier.
They like the stories.
No, like the taboo-ness of it. Like, man, if somebody came in here and seen me watching this, oh man.
That's what I said earlier about the unrealistic, like
the taboo,
disconnection from reality. Yeah,
because I probably couldn't imagine anything that would be more in like the taboo realm than that, other than like things that aren't legal.
The thing is, I don't think you even need to like say that like, oh, it was their first time, or like it's like, you know, like you don't need to funnel it down. I think if you genuinely got all the people that looked for lolly porn and enjoyed lolly porn, most of them wouldn't be pedos, and like it would be a very, very small percentage, and most of them wouldn't even be attracted to like the actual younger men or women. They would like, they consume it because like either one, it's like part of the content they consume, like as in the femboy stuff I've talked about earlier, where it's very high crossover because of the artists. Or two, because they enjoy the dynamic of like having
it's not because of the artist at all, though, is it? I mean, the inherent thing of femboys is sort of an attraction to the prepubescent features of a male.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is that a lot of them are displayed as like they look like a 12-year-old height. Like
I just think any femboy shit, you're probably gonna find the same crossover as lolly shit, because that is kind of just
Wait, you think femboys and lolly are the same?
In terms of crossover with pedophiles, yeah, I'd say probably roughly the same.
Wait,
it's about looking at prepubescent boys ultimately. That's the point.
Okay, that is.
Wait, what are femboys prepubescent? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Well, it's the prepubescent features. It's a lack of the signs of a developed male.
Yeah, but
that's what we're calling femboys now. All the femboys
is it
I'm
not?
thinking of.
What are the traits of a femboy? What makes a femboy?
No, you're right about that. Like it's not really just that though. It's more like a femboy is like a very like feminine.
young,
male.
but not prepubescent. I would think.
No, you
I
don't
think
even
a
have to be
femboy
young.
like 18 to 25 is like.
You don't
sure,
have to be young to be a
yeah.
femboy.
They may well be. If you look at like, sure, some femboy on Twitter is posting, they're probably going to be 18 to 25 or whatever. But I'm saying the point of the attraction, the traits they're attracted to, are the traits of a male who's not developed.
No. It's not that. It's the idea of them being like smooth skin, like being feminine features.
That's like saying women.
You were just saying just now that children are used in these things because they have that androgynous look.
No, wait, but like a man who's attracted to like a 20-year-old woman, you think he's attracted to her prepubescent features?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
If a man's attracted to like 20-year-olds, you know, is he attracted to the fact that they're closer to prepubescence?
I mean, what do you mean by attracted to 20-year-olds?
I think a femboy is just trying to look like a young woman, maybe like a highly sexed up one, but I don't think they're trying to look like kids.
Well, that's what they look like. They look like an underdeveloped male.
I wouldn't say that.
I have no idea where you're getting that from.
Also, I would just say
what else is a femboy? They don't look like women.
Wait,
a femboy is a guy
a cross-dresser. Well, no, that's not my understanding. Femininely dressed, sure, but it's not necessarily like there's a. I don't think a femboy is quite the same thing as a crossdresser, is it?
You can easily have femboys that are
Isn't
completely
Finster
ripped.
a femboy? Is that what they go by? Or is that just what I hear people say?
Sure.
Finster is a femboy, yes.
Femboy would seem
Okay, yeah,
to
because
be...
I just didn't even know that they weren't.
Oh wait, no, I'm pretty sure they're trans now. They might
Okay,
be trans.
just to clarify, it's not they're not cross dressers. They're just they come off more ambiguous.
It's
What's
just
that word?
Yeah,
ambiguous.
You just
so-
you
They're
shouldn't
not
be able to be
cross-dressers,
sure.
They're wearing like fucking skirts and stockings.
It's not one thing. There's so many different types of femboys. There's no one dimension.
Yeah, the schoolgirl skirt isn't like necessarily what they have to wear. It's not like a uniform.
I'm gonna fuck them.
Femboy is literally just the new twink. That's all it is. But the reason why I said that they cross over in the stuff earlier, Kuihman,
No
is because
skirt, no stockings, no sale. That's what I say.
People enjoy the younger looking person, like as I said earlier, like the lolly thing, but they do it with males. So they have males with huge dicks, and they obviously, to get multiple groups of like audiences, they make them like the androgynous between like a lolicon and an older person. It's not because they have to. Most of the femboy stuff, or not femboy, most of the male stuff isn't even femboy related.
Well, I don't know.
I
all
feel
this,
so
look,
out of my element.
all
now.
you kids, I don't know what you're
I'm
doing.
lost now, to be
You're
honest.
all jerking off to something or other. Vaush is jerking off to horses.
How old are you, Vito?
I am 35.
Oh, okay. So maybe there's a reason why you and I are both a little lost here. Okay. Makes me feel a
Yeah,
little bit
well, all the kids are dressing up in different costumes and inflating themselves like Sonic the Hedgehog. Look, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. No,
A man
Vito,
with-
you
a
don't
man
sound
with a-
lost.
A man with a Pikachu medallion fucked his mother. The world's topsy-turvy. The point is, the only way to get through it is to buy my new comic book, Super Killer, available now on Indiegogo. And check out the Biggest Problem in the Universe podcast at youtube.com/biggest-problem.
Yeah.
Give me a
also,
link. Give me a link so I
yeah.
can share it.
I mean,
Oh,
put some links
okay, I'll
somewhere.
give you a link.
But you should tell Dick to come on at some point. Maybe he has some thoughts on what exactly it means to be into lolly porn.
I don't think he would have any fucking idea. Dick's older than me. Here, I'll send you the link. Who am I DMing this to?
You can give it to Chaeiry. She put it everywhere.
Hold on. What was I gonna say? The point is, everybody hates Vaush, as they should, because he's a hypocrite who fucks horses. That's kind of funny.
Why didn't you plug your channel? Aren't you your kick.com/Vito comedy?
I'm not doing. Where are you streaming this? On YouTube?
YouTube and Kick.
All right. Well, people need to subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, there's
That's
like
what needs to
1,500
happen.
people watching you.
Oh, okay. Hey, how's everybody doing? Are they watching on Kick?
What's our numbers right now?
Yeah, there's
973 on Kick.
I was watching this on
and
YouTube.
370 on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, well, we got a great podcast at youtube.com/biggest-problem. You guys been watching me on Kick or Keep? Killing
They
it.
have. Yeah,
I
they
seen you
were
were
like,
on
"Is this
it."
the Kick or Keep winner?" Yeah.
Me and
That's
Dick
what you're
won the
known as.
Well, I don't know if they did one after we went on. I think we've destroyed that
I don't
show
think so.
because we're too good. Every time
you
I
keep
go,
winning.
I keep showing up in the finals. I've won twice, and I've been in the finals 4 times.
And
Every
half of
single
the
time
time, you guys
I've-
don't deserve to be at the end, honestly.
No, not at all. I'm just there. The problem is they bring on all these idiots, and they spend the whole time arguing about who's a pedophile, and I just go, "You guys are idiots," and then people seem to like that. So I've gotten to the finals 4 times. I've made $1,000 off that stupid show. But anyway, everyone should
Wow, don't say stupid. Krontos works really hard.
Does he? He needs a guy to write better questions for him.
Oh,
Five
okay,
streams
on
about
the
Destiny
suicide.
questioning how hard he's actually working, and him just getting triggered as fuck about it.
His questions are like, he'll come on and he'll be like, what do you guys think about Pal World? I'm like, what the fuck? Nobody wants to talk about fucking Pal World
Dude,
right now.
dude,
That's the
I shit you not. I watched the stream where their
Yeah.
questions guy was writing the questions for that show, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we should put a Power World question in there." And I watched that, and I was like, "Oh brother, oh no."
Come on, it's their
I
first time
sent
on the
them-
internet.
I sent them some questions. I'm like, hey, why don't you guys let me write some questions for you? And I sent them some good ones. You
Oh,
know
he's
what
in my
they
chat
said?
right now. He's in my chat.
Good.
What
You
do they say?
fucking-
Yeah.
I told they didn't say anything. They didn't even fucking DM me back. I spent all this time. I spent like an hour writing like 5 or 6 decent questions, being like, let me know if you want to use any of these. They didn't even fucking write me back. I'm like, you know what? All right, never mind. Keep having shitty
Krontos
questions
not the
because
question guy.
I don't know.
No, it's
I think
this-
Karantos has farmed out his entire job, and he just collects a
Yeah.
paycheck
Yeah, what
and
did
he
she even
shows
do
up.
then?
It's based, honestly. Discord speds do all his work. This guy called Kankamore streams every morning and just sits there writing kick or keep questions with his friends. It's great, honestly.
They stream writing the questions, but
Yes.
the people are going to know the questions ahead of time. They're
Yeah, you can. You can know the questions ahead of time if you
content's
watch
the
his stream.
answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turkey Tom was a ringer. He knew one of the questions for some reason. We're like, whoa, this is bullshit. Point is,
What is
guys.
this, trivia night?
I guess so. Come on by Biggest Problem. We got some great stuff. And guys, I'll come back on sometime.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys ever have
he gave you
is Mr. Girl
perms.
not allowed on?
Max might be the one person I'm kind of against allowing on. Look,
Maybe on my stream in the near future.
Listen.
Oh.
Yeah, ElderDrazi is a huge Mr. Girl fan. I just want to say I have liked Max's content historically, but I watched what happened after Vaush talked to him and how every clip from Mr. Girl's conversation with him has been used to hang him now, and I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I'm
Wait,
okay.
to hang Vaush?
What have you got to hide,
Yeah.
J-Stalk? Yeah, what's the problem, J-Stalk? Why are you worried?
Do you guys want to know an
what would
Easter
it
egg
be?
about that makes Vaush not look good too? I didn't
What's
know about
that?
this for the longest time. Vaush left at the end, acting like he was disgusted with
Yeah, we talked about
anti-pedophilic
that.
sentiment. But when Mr. Girl asked him what color the android's panties was, I did not know for the longest time that this was a reference to the DM that got Vaush in trouble in Destiny's community. And so that was actually like a super, yeah, because Vaush was already like, he just sort of like just started shitting on Mr. Girl instead of answering and not taking it serious. So that's when he's like, what color do you think their panties were, Vaush? So he's actually running away from Mr. Girl, maybe bringing that back
Ribbing
up.
on his past.
Yeah. And
all I know is what's happened to Mr. Girl is the greatest tragedy of the modern age. He is one of our greatest living artists, and because of his art, he has been banned from every platform.
No, Vito, his new song was not it.
His
I
new
like
song
his new
was
song.
not
I liked his
It
new
was
song.
not it.
Yeah.
It was not it.
I like the new song, okay?
Which one?
I
Shake Your
like the new
Pussy
song.
Flaps or the other new one?
No, Pussy Flaps is like fine, but the one where
Flaps
he
was dog shit.
Pussy Flaps is genius.
Oh my
No,
god.
Pussy Flaps is dog
I
shit.
don't know
in
how
my
to shake
opinion.
my pussy flap, so I can't relate to the music that he's putting out there.
Whatever his latest one
know,
was a
His
banger.
new one's good. His new one is a
I
banger.
watched it
And-
with like a bunch of black people though, and then they all said it was shit, and I felt
Yeah.
awkward saying it was good.
Well,
He got
did
us
a
all in a
reaction to
call
it.
and he played it.
Guy said that one's a no for me, and I was like, yeah, Mr. Girl's not for everybody. Like, no, I like him, just not this song. And I was like, all right, I can't really argue with you. Like, I'm
He
not gonna
makes
argue
the
with a black
beats
person who doesn't
himself,
like it.
guys.
That
He's
part is very
making the
good.
beats.
Yes.
And I told him, I said, Max, like, what are you doing spending all this time making these beats? Like, you can just buy beats. And he's like, then it's not me, man.
Have you
Then it's
heard
not
One More
real.
Day?
No,
You
the
can't
music is
buy
very
that.
good that he does.
That was a masterpiece instrumental.
Have you heard I Kill Pedophiles slowed down with extra reverb? Mm.
No, I
The-
respect Jimmy's original version.
Wait, Jimmy?
Jimmy played the guitar on that.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know. Can you even get that on YouTube anymore? I Kill Pedophiles
Yeah,
because I'm
it's
not
there.
one.
Yeah, it's there somewhere.
Well, because he can't have a channel, but he can have like music. It's so confusing.
Somebody
the
else runs a
music-
clip channel for him too on YouTube.
The point is that the fact that one of the greatest artists and intellectuals of a generation has been silenced is a genuine fucking tragedy and a mark on the human race that will remain until we unite and get him back.
I
He's
have
been banned
never
from
been
Patreon.
out Mr. Girl fan.
He's been banned from
in any
Patreon.
stream ever.
Do you know how unreasonable that is?
I think him being banned from anywhere is extremely unreasonable. Like, I understand he pushed boundaries with his content, but it just seems like it's more mass flagging.
Should we
to me.
not push bound? We're basically telling people, yeah, we want to push the boundaries. We want to explore, controversial topics. And if you do it, we'll run you out of town and we'll make you penniless. It's like, what the fuck? How can we have any sort of society? We were always talking about free speech and how much we want to defend it, and we've let Mr. Girl sink into the abyss with no one raising a finger to stop it. It's
Even
a
if
tragedy.
you hated him, you can't deny that he brought the best content out of everybody that he talked to.
Even if you hate everything he said, he's done nothing criminal. The only thing we hate him for is his ideas. And hating a man for his ideas does not mean he should be deplatformed and removed from this
Yeah, I
entire
agree with that.
internet sphere.
Can I
don't know.
It's
His black
horrifying.
hole arc's pushing that line.
I am just gonna have to ask you then, Vito. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to ask you. You got no issues with how he DM'd every woman Destiny's ever had sex with to ask about him?
MrGirl's crazy.
Okay.
Like he's a fucking
So
he's crazy. Look, I don't agree with everything Mr. Girl's
JSTLK is
done.
just jealous because he's only messaged half of them. I'm sorry.
He's
Max,
working on it.
So when Max came to me at one point, I was talking to him. I think I can say this. It was like, I've been contacted by these women and they say Destiny's done these horrible things to me. And I tried to very strongly hint, like, Max, this is not your fight. Like, you don't need to defend anybody. It's just going to end badly for you. The problem is that MrGirl, and this is what's crazy, is everybody calls him like a pedophile and thinks he's a criminal. MrGirl's the most moral motherfucker I've ever met, to the point of annoyance. Where if I found a penny on the sidewalk, he'd be like, well, you have to figure out whose fucking penny that is. I'd be like, it's mine, I found it. He'd be like, nope, doesn't work. So that's kind of what happened with Destiny, is that if MrGirl gets a whiff of something that he thinks is improper, he can't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, you know, Russia Today, that like obviously Russian propaganda news site or whatever.
How do you know that?
How do I know it's Russian propaganda?
Yeah,
called Russian Today.
Because I was in their because I was in their
going.
Telegram group when they tried to hire me like 5 years ago. So they tried to give me a job as a social media manager, and I told that to Max, and he said, if you take that job, we can't be friends anymore. I'm like, why? It would be kind of funny. Like, I'm writing propaganda for the Russians. He's like, that's inherently evil. I would never speak to you again.
Oh, right. I think I know this,
And
but I don't
he's
think they
right.
do. You
He's right.
grew up with him, right?
Well, it's
Or
interesting.
same area,
So
right?
we lived in the same town, and we went to the same high school. He was a senior the year I was a freshman. So I knew of him because even back then, he like would print out this newsletter and like distribute it around the school at lunchtime, and it would be all this shit about like how girls don't actually have orgasms or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what it was.
So true.
And I remember like it was like satire. It was like insane satire from like an edgy high school kid. I remember
Actually,
being like,
his funniest content.
yeah, and I went, wow, that's fucking hilarious. I can't believe this guy's doing it. And, you know, it was this big thing where he got like suspended, but then they had to let him come back because he had free speech rights to make shitty jokes about vaginas. So it's just like this thing where I knew of him, and occasionally he'd pop up in the news, and I'd be like, oh, I went to high school with that guy. And then I eventually moved to LA, and he was friends with, you know how like the seniors all hang out with the seniors, but then one of them has a brother who's like in your class or whatever?
Yeah.
So I basically met Max because he was friends with the older brother of another kid I knew. And everybody was living in LA at the time, so I met him at like a party, and then we kind of became friends that way. I was like, you're the kid who wrote that fucked up news article that kept going around our school. He's like, yeah, that was fun. So, but then everybody goes, oh, they've known each other for 20 years and they've been best friends the whole time. I'm like, nah, I met him like 6 years ago, probably. I don't even remember when I came out to
the
LA.
guy that he made the movie with, The Fiend?
The guy who's like in The Fiend. I also went to high school with
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
but-
Did he ever make his rap album? My wife and
You
I
know
just
what?
watched the movie. I want to know so bad.
I actually don't know. I did go to high
Shit.
school with that guy, and I remember him. He was like a popular guy. I think he was the
Really?
same guy. Dude, there was like our high school. It was weird. You wanted to know another thing about our high school? You remember that YouTube Rewind that was like the most disliked YouTube video of all time?
With Will Smith?
Yeah, with Will Smith.
That was directed by another kid from our high school.
What? It was in the
At one
water.
point I went up, who made that YouTube video? And then I'm like, oh shit, that guy was in fucking math class with that guy. We had a weird high school, man.
Yeah, I think Destiny, Stephen or whatever, has a friend who also went to that school.
Yeah. So there's this town
Someone
in
who shall not be named.
Massachusetts, Amherst. You've probably heard of Amherst College. It's also
Yeah.
like where the main UMass
UMass
campus
is there.
is.
Mhm.
All this stuff where like, you know how the liberals have all gone insane and we want to give reparations to everybody and all
This
this
is
stuff.
the genesis of all of it.
We started all that. So
Yeah.
that's why all the that's why guys like me and MrGirl are so fucked up, because we grew up like early to all this like insane liberal activism. And even at the time we were like, man, a lot of like some of this, okay, I get it. Like, yeah, don't discriminate or whatever it is. But some of this shit is bullshit. You know, like some of this is just like performative the bullshit and like doesn't make any sense. And I think it's driven us all semi-insane in different ways.
Not
he now
me.
makes
I've made it through perfectly fine.
I don't know. It was we grew up with all this like white guilt, all this straight white guilt. And I think the kids today who are being hammered with it, they're more prepared for it because they can go on YouTube and someone can tell them like, "Hey, don't worry about all this. It's all stupid bullshit." But back then, I think we believed it.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, us white people are ruining America. And then hopefully you grow out of it. All right, guys.
Yeah, you really gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta work on some stuff. I'll talk to you guys later.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah,
Bye.
hey,
It's cool having you on.
I enjoyed being on. We'll come by some other time.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you can drop in whenever you want now. You get the perms, so.
Oh, good. All right. Yeah, let me know when you're streaming. If I like the topic, I'll come in.
Yeah.
I heard about pedophiles, and I'm like, I gotta get in there. No. All right, bye.
You guys still need me for anything?
No, I think we're gonna wind down right away.
All right, Kuihman, nice to see you. JSTLK, I guess nice to more formally meet you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Chaeiry.
Bye.
All right, hold on, my headphones are dying.
Okay.
Are you out of here too, Kuihman?
Yeah. If you're winding down, I'm gonna jump out anyway.
Yeah, probably in the next, I don't know, like 20 or 30 minutes. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm probably ending stream soon anyway, so I'll catch you later.
Yep, see ya.
All right.
Bye, Kuihman.
See ya. Okay.